What's up, chat? Welcome to the stream. Just getting ready for the Replit Buildathon. So let's just get pumped up and ready for that Buildathon. Then I gotta see how I can get onto the Replit call. Let's give it a try, chat. Welcome to the stream. Come on, chat, let's get it. What's up, chat? Let me check the chat. We're just listening to some music. What's up, chat? Manasseh, welcome. Easy, welcome. Fax, welcome. Day 30, chat. Easy, welcome. Fax. I've got echo, chat. Give me a minute. I don't know where the echo's coming from. Ah, I know. Alright, test. We should be good, chat. Sorry for that. Replit Buildathon, chat. Alright, chat, let me try. Give me a second. Let me try to do this audio and this camera for the stream with Replit. Let me put some lo-fi on. Alright, let me turn it down for you guys. I'm not sure if you guys are going to be able to hear me, but you know the vibes. Should be good. I don't know if you hear me good, chat. I'm still working on the audio. Give me a minute, but we should be test. All right. Alright, just got a Fiverr chat as well, chat, sorry. Okay, give me a minute to organize because I need to jump in on this stream. And I want that camera on it. Alright. And then I think we should be good. I think he said like 15 minutes before the stream starts. Okay, let me see if I can test to join. Alright, I'm backstage, chat. Well, we are backstage, chat. Oh, Raymar.
Yo, what's up, man?
Sorry, I was just testing the audio. I hope I'm not echoing because of the stream.
Nah, you're okay.
Alright, great.
Yeah, just sit tight. I'll be with the people be dropping in here, but I'm just doing some final prep on the back end.
No rush, no rush. Okay, chat, let me know if you guys still hear me. I'm waiting for the call with Raymar. And we'll watch the stream together soon. I've muted myself over here. What's up, Chicago? I'm doing a Fiverr order as well, chat. I might have a new order coming in. What's up, Kit Kat? Welcome to the stream. We got a Replit Buildathon. We're backstage right now to join the stream. I'm gonna shout out our channel a little bit. Shout out the Dollar Vibe Club. I wasn't able to do anything too crazy with the Dollar Vibe Club. But I did get the base going. Let me show you guys. Let me mute it. How do I mute it? Alright. So this is what I made, chat, but we're still gonna have to work on certain things. So these are the courses I want to be working on. Nothing's launched yet, so you still can't join, chat. It is what it is because I've got a full schedule of work as well. So yeah, this is the new design though. So you can see the design is way more fresher now. You got the vibe coder option, the student option. You got the courses that you can join today. Well, soon. Thanks. You got our live video that should be here. The courses that we got going. The challenges that I plan to launch. 2 Replit projects for sure. Fiverr launch challenge for whoever's doing their profiles. And then I've got an MCP challenge I want to work on. Alright. So we got the community going. We got the blog page going based on our streams. So that's kind of what we've been doing on the streams. And then the support page. But yeah, just leave your email here. You know the vibes. You'll get invited once we get ready. Alright, chat. Give me 2 minutes. I'll be right back. All right, chat. If you guys can hear me, I'm gonna take a little stretch break. I think we got 5 minutes. Let me see the Buildathon. Yeah, we still got 20 minutes. Let's let Reddit lunch slowly, chat. And I'll see you guys. What's popping, Raymar? We just getting ready for the stream, hoping the audio will be good. We're showing everybody the Dollar Vibe Club a little bit. But I think we should be good. I think you can feel the pressure as well every time these live streams go live. All right, chat. I'll be right back. I think 10 minutes, and then we'll be good to start the show with Replit. Once they start, we can watch the stream. Get yourself a drink, chat. Don't forget to hydrate. Get yourself some Red Bull. Be right back, chat. All right, chat. Let's lock in.
All right.
I think it will be a 5-hour session today, chat.
Check. Maybe that's a little better.
I can hear you.
All right. We should have Manny and Francisco jump in early, and then we're just waiting for the rest of y'all. While you're here, what I'll do is I'll add a couple of you. Tommy, I've already got you added in here. Will you be able to share your screen, Jeffra, or your camera, or no? Let's see. Hopefully, she will be able to share. Just a heads up, we won't be able to hear anybody while we're on other slides. So if you're off camera, we won't be able to hear you.
That's all good. What are you sipping on, Raymar?
I have a Kiwi Guava Celsius.
Celsius, nice. Nice.
I don't do a ton of caffeine, but every once in a while. And I've been kind of digging on these Celsius recently. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. And then I've also got a backup. It's a LaCroix.
Wow. I'm popping that Red Bull.
Red Bull.
Yeah, the classic Red Bull. Damn, you ready for
Trusty little cup.
you're ready for 5 hours streaming.
This is just ice, you know, so this guy will go into this when it's ready. So that's kind of like a backup situation, you know.
I'm with my water bottle.
Hey. Hi, Shipra. How are you? Can you tell me how to pronounce your name? Is it Shipra or Shipra? How do you pronounce it?
Shipra.
Shipra?
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you.
Yeah, same here.
Chat, I'm streaming as well. So if I'm not talking to you guys know why.
Let's add Victor to the house. What's up, Victor? We can't hear you yet. There you go. Victor, how are you? Got a nice little gradient in the background there. I like that.
What's up? What's up, Victor?
just got some notification from some app that I don't even know what it is on my phone. I feel like them apples. Manny, what's up?
Hey,
Oh,
hey.
I didn't even hear you. The ping come in.
Stealth mode, dude.
Came in on whisper mode today.
Just give me that stealth.
What's going on, brother?
What's up, dude?
Oh, shit. Yeah, I was trying to find that.
Hey, Victor, good to see you.
Hey, Manny. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Lovely.
All right.
What's up, Manny?
Just ahead.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Hi,
Hey,
Tommy.
Tommy.
Nice to meet you.
Oh, I had a song and now I lost it, y'all. This makes me sad.
Oh, it's here.
What's that?
I can hear it.
Yeah, it's not it though.
Oh, that's not it.
I'm trying to find the one that I had.
Chat, let me know if you guys can hear the audio from the
Oh, I need to like
Replit
save
call?
these for a stream playlist.
drop a one if you can hear it. I'm not sure if you guys can hear it.
We gotta be careful with copyright stuff, you know. So there's like limited stuff we can.
I can imagine.
How's everybody doing? Okay, let's do this. Let's not mess with this right. We're just gonna go with the default. Hey, Kelly's in. Hey, Kelly, we'll just add you here in a sec. Hey. How are you feeling? You had a late night, I believe, right?
I have a late night every day.
Ah, yes, I know what this is like.
Our whole family stays up till 5 in the morning, like every day.
5 in the morning.
Oh.
Yeah. But everyone sleeps till 3 or 4, so it's fine. We're just vampires.
Cycles shifted. I understand. All right. So quick rundown. I think. Let's see. We may get the other two. I did not get confirmation, so
Nice chat.
we'll see what happens here. But let me just run through. There's a little chat in the bottom left. Oh, Hunter's in the house. Hey, Hunter. There's Hunter. Let me see that now. What's up, Hunter?
How we doing?
What's up, Hunter?
Hey, any chance you can turn that phone sideways? You think that might work for you or no?
I could, but I got like set up.
Hamburger style.
Sideways like that.
It'll probably shift here in a second. If you go all the way, it'll flip the horizontal properly.
You may have it locked, so you might want to unlock it on your console.
Schlock it. There we go.
There, nice.
Alright, so let me see. This is Hunter. Let me just get y'all in your scenes here, and then I will
No feedback on my mic.
run through the show flow. What is it?
No feedback on my mic, because that was a problem
You're
before.
coming in alright. Alright, so Kelly goes in this scene. Hunter's in that scene. Mandy, let me drop you in.
Let me know, guys. We're just chilling here. What we call, I guess, backstage. I'm working on a Fiverr client as we speak, so if I can pull that one on stream.
Okay, so
Let's
me
get
give
it.
a quick rundown of how this is going to go. Hunter, is that going to be the alignment, or will you be able to?
See, I can't even see my screen.
I mean, you could go if you want. If it's just better for the audience and for like if we could get it wide, you know, like it's. Like.
Does that work?
That's a little better. Yeah, that's better. Is that better? I can see the Men in Black, like he was blowing his head back. No way. Maybe it's too old a reference for y'all.
I just watched Men in Black like last week.
All right. Let me run through the flow. So here's what's going to happen. We're going to go through an intro. We'll come into into a little introduction here. What's up? What's up? We'll have Francisco here as well. We've got this one for Manny and I zoomed in case you want to get closer to our faces. Then we'll have screen share with myself, Manny, and Francisco. And then we'll jump into guests. So Tommy will go first. Then we got Shipra. Then we'll have Victor. Oh, that's not Victor. We gotta flip these. All right, Sharon. Let's see if we have to say. Oh, Sharon's not here yet, so I think she will be here. I think she did mention. Kelly, this is you. Why don't you do the same flip? Hey, Kelly. And then we've got Hunter in the house. So that will be the setup right here, Hunter. If you want to take a second and kind of align to that.
Yeah, I'm thinking I might change to my iPad.
Understood. You got about 10 minutes, so if you want to do that, there's a little bit of time to do that. Just for everybody's reference, if for some reason you drop, if for some reason the session refreshes, if for some reason your internet disconnects, just try to refresh your screen or come back in the background, and we'll try to re-add you to your scene quietly in the background. So don't stress out. We will try to bring you right back in. It doesn't happen a lot, but maybe if you've watched sometimes, you'll see like one of us kind of just drops off the screen. So sometimes Restream does weird little things like that where it might just switch our setup here. So, okay, Hunter, I see you. Are you going to drop on a different?
No fucking fighting, user.
New device, okay. So let me bring Hunter in here. Hey.
That seems like that might work better.
What's up, Breno? Welcome to the stream. We're just waiting backstage for the Replit. We won the Buildathon last week.
Perfect. All right. So what I was saying is, if you get cut off, no worries. Just like that, just like we swapped Hunter, we'll just bring you back in. No stress. Either Manny or myself will handle that. In the bottom left, there's this little private chat that you all should have access to. If there's any communication that needs to happen while you're off screen, it can happen inside of that chat. As we will not be able to kind of hear you when you're not on screen. But just a heads up, us and the audience will only be able to hear you when you're on screen. On the bottom right of your screen, there is a chat window that is like the public chat. So that will show, if you're interested, the YouTube chat, LinkedIn chat, X chat, whatever, anywhere that people may be watching from, will show up there as well. In case you want to keep up with that chat. Just a heads up, if you're watching on YouTube, please mute your YouTube tab. There will be a delay on YouTube, but you may want to be in the comments off screen. But just note that if you're watching on YouTube and we're here, there may be a 15 to 20 second delay. And so like if you're watching and then you're like, we're trying to talk to you, you're like, oh shit. And it might be like, so just keep an ear on that. You'll be able to see and kind of watch everything from this interface. So you may just want to have YouTube open with in a muted tab to just be in the chat. Anything else that I miss out on, Manny, that we might need to share?
Well, how much time are you slotting for each interview?
About 5 to 7-ish minutes. So
okay.
We're shooting for 5. If you're interesting and we go a little over, good. If not, you'll start getting the shepherd's crook. So it's up to you. It's up to you to keep the audience engaged, right?
No pressure. What's the order that everything?
The order. Okay, so the order will be Tommy, Shipra, Victor, Sharon if she shows up, and then Kelly, and then Hunter will finish with you because you're the week 1 overall winner. Cool. So I'm matching.
Do you know when about this will happen?
So we'll probably take about 5-10 minutes in for the intro and setup of the stream. Go through the Buildathon updates and everything that's going to happen up to that point. We've got some slides that we'll go through, and then we'll bring you all in. Again, starting Tommy, Shipra in the order I just mentioned, and about 5 to 7 minutes for each of those segments. So,
Okay.
Yeah, I imagine we'll be done with these interviews about an hour and 15 minutes in. So I'm thinking it's about an hour of interviews with the 10 minutes-ish at the front. And then if we need to go a little long, we can. But what I'm planning to do with the rest of the stream is go through the top, the other top submissions and just kind of go through other sites and explore if for as much time as we can.
Did you want to bring everybody back together at the end of the interviews, or can they just drop off?
No, I think you guys can drop off after your segment. After we get done with your segment, if you want to just drop off quietly in the back, you can just disconnect and join the live stream. You're more than welcome to hang out if you want, but we won't come back to like a group scene or anything. Hunter, did you want something under your name by chance? Do you want high five on there, or do you want me to add something under your name since you're on mobile? Maybe I can do it a little easier than you can.
Yeah, if you just put higher than 5, that works.
Okay, cool.
Do you want me to be posting anything in the chat for Emma?
Yeah, if you could post the links of the projects as they come up,
Okay.
that'd be super helpful, yeah.
I'll do that.
And Francisco, do you want to come in later in the stream, or do you just want to be on the open? Are you, how do you feel about,
Yeah, I'll probably just do open for this time. Just gotta do some of the stuff.
Yeah, no stress. Perfect.
And you want the link to the public URL or the
No,
the
let's
calendar?
share the link to that. Like I would, I have it open on the page, and I just go to the winners and filter by that. And let's share the Buildathon page, so we send the traffic to the Buildathon site, and then they can find their videos and all their check.
What's up, chat? Welcome to the stream, everybody. I'm not fully engaged on the chat here because I'm waiting to get on the Replit stream. We'll definitely shout out our channel a little bit, you know the vibes.
Okay, if for some reason Chrome crashes, just a heads up, that has happened in the past. Have no fear, Manny will be on hand to hopefully fetch us if we fall there, and I will also pop right back into the chat. So. And just a heads up, oh yeah, maybe that's. Okay, again, for anybody who missed it, there's a little private chat in the bottom left corner. If you need to communicate with us while you're off stream, that's a great place. If there's links or anything you want shared in the chat, you guys can share links in the chat. But if you want us to share something, we will share your project chats as we go. I think that's it. Relax, enjoy yourselves. I'm gonna take
Brenoffy,
just a second.
you're a new viewer, so let me know what you be doing. What's up, Mo? Welcome to the stream. I'm semi-muted because I'm waiting to jump on the Replit stream.
I was just gonna ask, the sound is super loud in my ears. How do I change that? Because this little button is not doing anything, and it's outrageously loud.
Manny, I think you're muted.
Computer.
You could just lower the volume of your computer.
It's not doing anything. It's literally muted on my computer. And
That's
it's
interesting.
insanely loud.
Oh wow.
I don't know
Yeah,
how
that
to fix it. Okay, I'll just re-blast it.
yeah. I know there's a way to mute the tab, but I don't know if there's a way to volume control on the Chrome tab. And usually you just control the audio on your computer. So
I don't know. These headphones are crazy, I guess.
Sometimes like unplugging and plugging them all the way in. Sometimes there's like 3 little rings around it, and sometimes one of the rings gets stuck. I don't know. That's how it me in the past.
Turning the internet off back on.
if you go to sound, if you do like, are you on a Mac by chance? Kelly? Are you in a Mac? I think we lost Kelly.
Okay. All right, friends. We are.
All right, chat. We still got about a minute.
So here in a second.
Minute, 10 minutes. I think we're gonna be the first on stream.
Kelly, so you're just hearing us a little loudly on your end, or what's going on?
I think she lost audio.
Yeah.
Nice, Breno.
Can you hear me?
If you can, share it in our Discord. I'd love to check. What's up, Adam? Welcome to the stream. Adam and Breno, you both new here. I hope you enjoy it. Today we're doing a Replit stream. We've been invited on the show. You guys know Replit. It's a vibe coding tool.
Just be super loud. It's not the end of the world.
Okay. You may want to just try refreshing your browser because there is a little bit of a delay. So you might just want to try refreshing while we kick the show off, and we'll bring you back in on the scenes while that's happening. But I'm going to go ahead and kick this off.
Once the show starts, I'm a mute here, chat.
This reminder.
Yeah, okay. All right. Good luck, everyone. Again, the chat's at the bottom. If you
Good luck with the show.
And yeah,
Thank you.
here we go.
All right, chat. 1 minute. No problem, Breno. We're all vibe coders, so we know how it goes. And the best way to get it finished is to have some people testing it, like-minded people. Let me mute this shit. Alright, so we'll leave this one off and we'll leave this one on. Yeah, new design just for this call, and we're planning to launch it now that we won the crowd favorite. So a little new design, a little cheeky design update to make it a bit more fresh and more accessible. All right, chat, let's lock in.
Man, that's my board. No way. No way. I did it all on here.
Oh. Hey, ad's so good it tried to play it twice. What's up,
Hey there.
everybody? Welcome back to another Replit live stream. How is everybody doing today? Manny, Francisco, what is going on?
Feeling good here at the tail end of the Buildathon. Wow, what an experience. It's gone by really fast. But man, a lot of these great
I'll mute myself when I go live with them, chat.
Yeah, it's been great to kind of see it all come together. I mean, the community's been thriving, and again, I've been tagged in a lot of different posts online, and seeing what people are building has just been really cool to see.
Ooh. Let's just put it like this. I am now building tools to monitor the activity in Discord so that we can try to keep up with everything. So like, it's just absolutely insane to see the excitement around the builder community here. Pure vibes. I have not seen anything like this since the early no code movement in kind of 2017, 18, like into 2019, where like kind of these new tools came in to unlock visual editing and building things on the front end. And I've never really seen like, but this is like 100x bigger. And what I mean by that is like these tools are just empowering raw creativity, right? And so this energy of like this creative, the spirit of the Buildathon, which is like you have this idea in your head, you got to get it out, right? Like I just see it in all of you. Kelly, especially in the background, I can't wait to talk to you because last night in the Discord, they're all frantically trying to figure out, and she's just like the community came together to help her put this thing together. And it's just so cool to see all of that and to see these things that started out as ideas a couple weeks ago and are now like full-fledged digital products that you all are trying to take to market, little ecosystems brewing, little online communities brewing. And so I'm just really excited to dive into all that and yeah, showcase a few of the winners, talk a little bit about how everything went down, and yeah, really just connecting with the community.
And in some cases, ideas that people have been sitting on for 10 years. We spoke to Angel on Friday, and you know his game Word Drop. He thought about 10 years ago, and he tried it a couple of times. Tried a freelancing website. Tried other AI coding platforms, no coding platforms. They can never really bring it to life. And the Buildathon came along. He's like, "Hey, let me try it. Let me give Agent 4 a shot." That first prompt where the word started dropping in the first iteration just really wowed him, and he just kind of took it from there and is just like doing a great job with that. So yeah, I think people are just excited to bring these ideas that they've been sitting on for a long time, bringing them to life.
Yeah, Francisco, any thoughts from your end, kind of watching at a high level, seeing it all unfold, kind of like just obviously getting tagged probably like crazy all over the place?
No, it's been great. And I think the thing that's really impressed me the most is just the diversity of where people are coming from, right? I feel like every time we do like a weekly showcase or just like highlight new folks, it's like such a variety of different folks. And then mainly for me, it's just like a lot of people are not developers, right? These are people that have hobbies.
King, I am professional. What do you mean?
And are getting, I mean, the excitement.
It's part of my brand.
Is really the best part for me. It's
what do you mean?
Incredible to kind of see them, bring it to life, showcase other people.
Being 40 years old, I've learned it doesn't really matter, chat.
The first time. And a big shout out to Ruth, who I've kind of I feel like really has embodied this over time and all the different examples. But no, but it's been incredible.
At the end of the day, I pay my own bills. You know what I mean?
Discord.
You know the vibes, chat.
The projects came together very quickly.
Wiz Khalifa became a billionaire.
So much more they're going to be doing here on the community front. So yeah, it's been great to kind of see.
Yeah. And speaking of that, let's go to, I think it's this scene. And let's kind of run through what's coming up in the community here, right? Let's talk a little bit about, okay, so let's just go through the run of show for today. We're going to go through the community updates, which I just teased a little bit, and Francisco is going to give us a little heads up on, and we'll just chat a little bit about what's going on in the community outside of Buildathon. Then we'll do a full deep dive on the Buildathon itself, recap where we've been and what these last couple of days will look like, because these last couple of days are scoring. We could see some wild cards. So I want to explain how that's going to play out. We got more Replicash coming, and there's an opportunity tomorrow inside the office hours to just kind of, hang and mingle with other builders and maybe get some extra love on your project. And then we're going to introduce you to the week 3 winners. We're going to explore some of the top sites, some of the other top submissions, and then like usual, we will do Q&A throughout the stream. So Francisco, I talked a little bit about the office hours. Do you want to give us just a high-level community updates, things you want folks to be thinking about as they interact with us at online here?
Yeah, absolutely. So first things first is we're kind of coming near the tail end of the Buildathon, and this does not mean like the end of the community programming. There is so much more that's going to be coming up very soon. The first thing is actually I've heard a lot of questions around the ambassador program, and if you've met a couple of amazing ambassadors, such as KG and many others, Cloud, who's in here as well. We're actually going to be opening up the application itself. So for anyone that's interested in being part of the program, I know a lot of you have already submitted an interest form. Keep an eye out. That'll be going out at the end of this month. So at the end of this month, we'll be sending out a big blast to everybody. Like, hey, thank you so much for your interest form. And then we'll send you the actual application to get you onboarded. We're going to be doing a very big onboarding of new ambassadors at the end of May. And that'll be kind of one of the biggest cohorts we've ever had yet, and our first public cohort. So I highly encourage you to be a part of it. There's a lot of things you get out of the program. Number one, you get early access to all of the different latest features that are coming out. I think for the mobile release, folks had about almost a month of early access for that. For Agent 4, it was about like 2.5 weeks, just because we were building up as much as we could up until the last minute. And alongside with that, with early access, I mean, really the best thing is being able to be in a community with all the different builders from around the world. We have a massive community that is kind of brewing here from different countries, and everyone's just always kind of helping each other out tremendously as they kind of build along and learn together. In addition to that, you also get credits to kind of build, credits to test. If you're an ambassador, I really hope it feels this way. Like, you're never going to be at a shortage of credits. Like, there's always so many different ways to kind of be a part of it. And to give you an example, it's like, one, of course, being part of the beta program. 2, if you're hosting any events. But 3, we actually had sessions. A huge shout out to Steve and all the others who joined, where they helped us kind of go through all the submissions for the Buildathon. So we got together in a room with like 10 or 15 people, and we wanted to make sure that everyone got their fair shot, at winning. So tons of different ways to kind of get involved, and a lot more coming soon. I think the last kind of like perk is swag. We sent out our first swag box to everyone who was a part of the program. There's a lot more coming soon. I have meetings with creative design tomorrow happening, where we're going to be thinking about what kind of comes next. So there's tons of amazing stuff in there. And the last thing I'll say is on the Discord side of things, that's definitely where we're going to be going. We've heard you loud and clear. A huge shout out to Rymar, who kind of, from the moment he joined the team, he was like, hey, like, I really want to make sure that we have some sort of Discord, some version of variety of it. And we've definitely kind of seen just how much has gone into it. So we're going to be investing significantly more in the Discord. So after the Buildathon ends, we're going to be thinking through kind of what the future is like, how are we going to onboard new folks. Really what we're going to be doing first is just making sure we have enough moderators. Unfortunately, we can't, have only Rymar moderating everything and ourselves kind of jumping in and out. So we'll be bringing in some new moderation to kind of help us scale out. And then very shortly after, bring in so many more people to kind of come in and join and just be part of the adventure with us. So much more to come, a lot more programming to come, and different ways to get involved. I'm very, very excited. So yeah, it's awesome.
I would just add that on the ambassador front, don't wait to be an ambassador before you're active and you're sharing. Like, I don't know, Rymar, like, were you officially an ambassador before you started sharing all that Replit content? I know I wasn't. Like, I was like way ahead of it.
Just start doing stuff.
Just start sharing what you're building. You're already, if you're here, you're building on Replit. Just whatever you've done this week, take a moment, share it with everybody else. It can be very, very simple as that. And my guess is that we're gonna have like a lot more applications than we have slots open for ambassadors. So you're gonna want to get noticed somehow, and the best way to do that is to share content about what you're building in Replit. Again, don't make it too complicated. What did you do this past week? Share it with everybody. Share it with somebody that's a little bit behind you. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, just like we've been talking about for this Buildathon, it's like you got to find interesting ways to stand out, and it's not always going to come from official channels, right? So you have to go and think about what can you do? Starting meetups, starting hangouts, starting to do some instructional stuff, educational stuff, content, whatever it is, to start moving the ball. Whether you're an official ambassador or not, you should just do this because it's fulfilling, and you see, if you've been part of the Discord at all, how fruitful it can be to start building these little communities and start having people that as you build, you can test stuff with. I think the Beta Bloom from last week had like 100 different projects in there. So that's 100 different creators that are interacting. And so like he's kind of built a micro community on top of the thing that we're doing. And so that got him noticed. So there's ways to just kind of, again, add value to the network. And as you add value to the network will find ways to add value back to you. This is always how the things work. This is the idea of a free market. And I like to just kind of close the loop on the Discord thing, that what we're going to start experimenting with and doing a lot more, especially over the next few months, is like really just close and deep builder sessions, right? Like just experimenting with stuff. A lot of times these streams, we try to keep them a little more polished and a little more structured. But in Discord, we have time to kind of just like get real scrappy and get hands-on and experiment and really push the boundaries of what you can do with Replit or with vibe coding in general. And so just expect us to really push on that thread, especially with this like through line of helping you all take products from ideas and out into the real world, right? This won't be just let's hang out and do whatever and just kind of like twiddle our thumbs. This is going to be with the focus of exposing you to resources and opportunities and other mentors, leaders and educators that can really help take that to the next level. So really expect us to double down on that stuff. Yeah.
And it's a little easier
sorry, Manny, one quick thing. A huge shout out to Marcel Haas. I think Manny and Rymar did like a shout out. I was like, hey, just build your own thing. And he did. I think he had his first meetup in Switzerland, and he has many more coming up soon. So like things like that are amazing ways to really stand out. And of course, sorry y'all, I have not done it yet. Huge shout out to Ruth, Chris, KG, Cloud the Boy, Ruchir. Great to see you back in the chat. As always, again, also just showing up, right? Angelina, who are always kind of in the chat. It just shows that you're a big part of the community, and we want to be bring you a little bit closer. Come be part of the ambassador program and be able to kind of do more with a lot of great people. Sorry, Manny, go ahead.
No, I was just going to mention that on the Discord, it also seems to me you have a bit more of an opportunity to get on stage and have somebody look at your project, because it's just easier to bring people on there and they can share their screens and share their projects. So just a great way to get more help on your projects.
Yeah. And also look for us to start blending those two worlds at some point, right? We saw us try to experiment with that the other day. We had a little bit of an issue with Discord, but we do want to also experiment with having some of that like raw live Discord thing kind of happening while we're doing these live streams, and figure out, can we, bring some of that unfiltered, raw, creative community energy into the live streams and have like a backstage or some kind of hangout or live lobby type thing happening. So again, we have so much planned. It's super exciting. I know, I know it's like a lot to think about, but just expect a lot of cool things from us over the next few months.
Awesome.
Okay, great. So let's go to the slides here, and let's just do a rundown of everything Buildathon related from top to bottom. So if you guys don't mind, just give me the next few minutes. I want to give everyone watching, I know you all have probably participated and seen, but let's go through where we've been up to this point. So for the last 3 weeks, we've kind of focused on a different part of the idea development process, right? All the way from taking your idea, rapid exploration, to launch ready in less than a month. So week 1, we explored ideas fast in Replit. Week 2, we built out our projects and MVPs. And the last week, we've really been spending distributing and sharing these projects. And last week, the deadline closed for the Buildathon submissions. And basically now until Wednesday, tomorrow at noon. We'll go through the timeline here in a second. You have to basically promote. So we're going to talk about that, but I want to talk about the participation and kind of how exciting this thing got and some of the stats that we've been sharing with you over time, but I want to give you like a full rundown of kind of the package here. So almost 7,000 people registered, whether that was to vote, participate, submit a project, get access to Discord, like whatever the reason was. Almost 7,000 of you signed up to be a part of this Buildathon in one way. So again, shout out to this growing community. I think the last Buildathon we did was our mobile Buildathon. We had about 5,000 people. So super cool to see just the growing builder community. 3,300 projects created. So this was wild to see. And also this is why you might notice bags under my eyes, because we have not been sleeping, reviewing these sites and going through and giving you all the time you deserve. Whittling it down to 113 top qualifiers, which again, we're going to go through today after we introduce you to week 3 winners. However, if you're not in this top 113 and as we explain this process, this does not mean you're out of the competition. This just means you have a little bit of catching up to do. There are about another 100 of you that are super close to being right up in this. And so between today and tomorrow, you all have an opportunity to really kind of showcase and highlight your project and find a way to get into the top like slots. There are 10 slots, 11 slots. There's a main winner and 10 other prizes. So there's one, grand prize winner, and then there's the 10 sub prizes for the categories, $10,000 and then $2,000 for each of those subcategories. You all still have a chance to qualify for those. There are 113 of you in the front running for that, including all of the 18 winners that we've announced so far. But there is a lot of room for navigation here, so keep that in mind as we go. Okay, network activity. So this is counting everything, like all of the Replicash transactions, all of the projects favorited, all the projects created, etc. Everything that happened across the website. Also considering that the Replicash and the feed only opened on the second week of the Buildathon, which means that almost 100 events every hour since the activity feed launched, and 1.5 events every minute on that activity feed on average over the last 2 weeks, which to me is mind-boggling. Again, a testament to you all. The economy that we built inside of here was not something that we thought about ahead of time. This was kind of a spur of the moment type thing that we added last minute, and you all saw it evolve and build out and this ecosystem kind of grow. And then that activity feed, which again was super exciting with the bids and the little gamification on some of those. So super cool elements that none of us really expected going into this, but was fantastic to see. And I really think showcased the community itself and the ecosystem.
We're almost up, chat. It's almost us turn.
For what we might do moving forward. So 2,400 bids placed for ads. If you don't know what this is, the Replicash that we implemented in the system is something that we sent out every voting round. And then participants were able to invest that Replicash into other projects. As people invest in your projects, then you could use that Replicash to pay for ads at the top of either the gallery or the activity feed. And so 2,400 people place bids for those. And then you have to bid for that, right? So the bidding starts at 250, and then it goes up from there. 753 of you won slots and spent almost $1 million on those, a million Replicash on those ad bids. So total economy size, this was interesting to me, that still 71% of the money is sitting in your wallet. So you all have a ton of cash. You all could go, and I expect to see the price of ads go up over the next 24 hours just because we are in the final moments. And also remember that that ad gets you into the judges portal. So that ad, as we're scoring on the Kanban, sits at the top of the judges portal. So this is your last chance to kind of get noticed. I imagine there will be a lot of competition for that. We are going to send out one final installment of Replicash to all participants in this last round, whether you submitted checkpoints or not. So everybody that's participating is going to get another tranche of Replicash for this last round to just go invest in the projects you want. You should think about investing in the best projects you can find, not just in your friends' projects, not just in yourself. There may or may not be some consideration made for people who invest in the smartest projects at the end of this. No guarantees, just saying you might want to invest in the best projects you can find and not just in yourself or to try to game the system here. Okay, that's it. Francisco, Manny, I know that was a lot, but I wanted to give like a whole package so that we can clip that and have like a presentation of kind of what's happened here. This is your last chance to get noticed. Manny, Francisco, any thoughts for folks as we break into this this next segment?
Yeah, I think just posting on socials, right? It does make a massive difference. I think advertising within the Buildathon website is also. I mean, it definitely gets my attention when people invest in the Buildathon ad. It's kind of cool to see, and then just get the word out there. It's again, it really kind of flags us as a judge, like when we're going through all the applications to kind of see like, oh wow, like this person's gotten Replicash from 15 different people, 20 different people, like so all these little things definitely add up, and I encourage you to kind of get the word out there. Which again, in the real world, that's exactly what it takes today.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think no matter where you are with your project, you should be proud of what you've built. You should be proud of what you're learning. We're all so early to this space. We're all so early to this new muscle of vibe coding and vibe building. So don't be shy about it. Share what you've learned, put it out there. And yeah, I would encourage you also to put it on channels like X and like LinkedIn, make it public, let us see it, tag us so that we can reboost you.
Yeah. Yeah, and again, if you had a great video for the content submission challenge or the last week, get that onto socials. Like if you were on Loom or whatever, get those videos out there, tag your friends, send it to your mom, send it to all your like anybody in your mailing list. Like now is your last moment to try to like figure out, how do I get these attention? How do I get these judges attention? That doesn't just mean, tagging us in Discord or on X. That means, again, creating some kind of meaningful way to just stand out a little bit. And yeah, the race is on, right? This is it, the final countdown. We need like a proper
Final
soundtrack.
countdown. We just got copyrighted, Ben.
That's it. It's over now. The stream is. Okay. So, any other thoughts before we go?
No, final stretch. Let's go.
Yeah, excited.
All right. Let's see. I don't know if I'm gonna get there.
There we go.
All right. Okay. All right. So the last thing to think about is just how it's going to work. I kind of covered this, but this is just, again, high level snapshot. Checkpoint closed. Tomorrow, final community feedback and scoring hangouts happening in Discord. Over the next 2 days, community internal voting is going to happen. So today and tomorrow are your last 2 days to really get noticed. Submissions then close. Thursday, we will have the final deliberation and internal kind of review to make sure everything is on the up and up with all the people that are going to win. And Friday on the showcase stream, we will announce all of the winners. So again, all projects are open for community scoring right now. The more scoring you all do, the better our final results will be, because again, you all are helping us figure out the crowd favorites and some of these other winners here. Invest Replicash to support your top projects. Shout out your favorite projects in the activity feed, so you can go to their page. If you're logged in, shout them out. That puts them in the activity feed so others can get visibility. Again, over the next day, I think there's going to be a lot of activity on the website. And then finally, just show us why you should win, right? There's still a chance to kind of break in and take the whole thing here. There's nothing sealed in. So you still have an opportunity to show us exactly why you should be the one to win. And I think that's it. Yeah, explore the gallery, shout out, and score your projects, and then tune in Friday. That's those are your marching orders for the next couple days.
Perfect.
All right. Go ahead, Manny.
There's a question here. Checkpoint 3, can it still be submitted even now?
No, the checkpoint closed last week. The submissions are totally closed now. You can not update or edit your submitted projects or any of the submitted checkpoints. The Buildathon itself is essentially locked down now. It's just available for voting and scoring.
Just scoring now and voting.
Yep.
Catch us for the next Buildathon.
Cash me outside. How about that? Okay, sorry.
We're getting a little loopy here at the end of the Buildathon.
It's been a long 4 weeks.
Somebody get this man some sleep. Okay, so the first one we're going to go to is our crowd favorite for the week. And this is the Dollar Vibe Club. Tommy has been streaming. He's probably live on YouTube right now. We'll go to Tommy here. Let's go to the scene. Yes, Tommy. What's up, Tommy? Yeah, okay, so I want to just intro Tommy a little bit. Tommy, you have been diligently streaming almost every day, I think, right? On YouTube, sharing about not just your Buildathon experience, but the Dollar Vibe Club, which is like a $1 monthly membership to kind of help folks get in. So again, this is another community play, right? Like you see last week we had a community play, this week we have a community play, and it's the crowd favorite. So you had a bunch of people that got excited, you won a bunch of Replicash, you've been streaming and kind of diligently engaging with folks in Discord. So tell me a little bit about like why you got into this whole thing and why you picked the Dollar Vibe Club and why you started doing this streaming and kind of community building around the Buildathon here. And remind me how long you've been building in Replit? Amazing. Manny,
yeah, Tommy, can you talk a little bit? You said you looked at some other vibe coding platforms. Why did you land on Replit? Why is it working for you?
Yeah. The audience wants to know.
Oh, it looks like Rymar dropped off. Let's see here. Well, let me get you back on stage. One moment.
We're back.
Okay.
Nice work, internet. Okay, so Tommy, the internet wants to know, where is your accent from?
Nice mix. And where are you based? Oh wow! So a mix of everything.
So tell me a little bit about what your biggest takeaway has been from the Buildathon. Like, how are you feeling about your project, kind of going to market? You're now going to get $1,000 of Replit credits as part of this weekly win. So, not enough to go to Disney World, but, probably enough to get a little bit built on your projects. What's your takeaway and where you headed as? Hey, no need to suck up anymore. We already did that, The prize is already won. The prize is won.
Get the W already, dude. He's going for bonus. If we have just one more question, Rymar, I'd love. Go ahead. Yeah,
no, I was just gonna say, I we'll get to yours, Manny. Whatever you have here, but I do want to ask one more question that just carries on over that. talk a little bit about what you see happening in the streaming space, because I think it's very similar to what was happening in the early like video game space where people started streaming video games. So like I see in a couple years, there are going to be some serious like vibe code streamers. Like we can feel it with the energy here. I can feel it with like people doing what you're doing, Tommy. So tell me a little bit about that, and then Manny, we'll close with your last question.
Ooh.
Hey.
Wow, look at this. Look at the cockpit. Woohoo.
Got me a run for the money over here. Yeah.
I love it.
All right. Let's Manny, one final quick question, and then we got to jump to the next interview.
Yeah. So Tom, you're doing a great job live streaming and sharing in public. I guess it's very comfortable for you right now. I guess what tips would you give to folks that are maybe like at that stage where they want to be sharing more in public but are a little bit hesitant? Any advice you'd give to your former self before you started being so public about things?
W's in the chat, I think is how you say it. Let's light up the chat, y'all. Let YouTube know. Yeah, we're gonna chat with Hunter, but I'm gonna cut you here. We're well over on a time, but I appreciate you. Yeah, no, it's all good. Lots of love. Hunter, I'm sure Tommy will be live on his YouTube channel chatting about this experience right after this. Don't you all dare leave our stream. That's right. No, just yeah, and we just shared the vibe code in the chat. So again, if you want to see the Dollar Vibe Club, I'm sorry, which is Tommy's project, in the chat. So go ahead and check that link out. And yeah, thanks so much for hanging with us, Tommy.
Thank you, Tommy.
Oh, we got an extra here. Let's remove that so we can go bingo bango and then wingo.
Let's go, chat.
Restream. Stop messing with my scenes.
They said 5 or 7 minutes. I think we beat that 5 or 7 minute mark.
And Shipra created.
Hey yo, FPS, welcome to the stream.
Vani? How do you pronounce this? Vani, tell me how you pronounce the name of your
Let's
product.
watch this chat and then we'll go.
Pronounces correctly. Vani. Vani means speech.
Got it. And Vani, I'm gonna Manny, are you sharing the chat into the great. Okay. So it's an AI powered speech therapy platform designed specifically for stroke patients to build their communication skills. So tell me a little bit about what caused you to want to build this. Where did this idea come from? Like, what got you thinking about this?
Yeah, actually, I love using AI to solve my day to day problems, and this project is very personal to me. I created it for my mom. She is a stroke patient, and I saw her struggle with something we usually
Nah,
take
you
for
my day
granted,
ones
like
FPS.
speaking. I remember trying to find some tool online to help her, but surprisingly, there was nothing that felt right. So then I decided, let's build it. So yeah, I just create Vani as a not as a product. I create it for my mom and for anyone going through the same journey. And honestly, I want to say I'm not a hardcore developer, so I want to give a big thank to Replit and to make this idea into something real. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and this one immediately caught our attention because there's been a couple other audio, and if you were around for the week one winner, you saw that we had another audio submission that was kind of speech to talk, and it seems like a lot of folks are experimenting with that. Shout out to 11 Labs,
For
especially
sure,
site
Adam, I'll
Replit.
get you
Super easy
tapped
to
in.
use those connectors and kind of build these types of things.
Robon, thanks for that W.
What has your experience been? You said you're not a developer. Here you are building a speech therapy platform.
Yeah, I had to mute while I was on the Replit stream, but I'm here, chat.
And what it is basically is these little cue cards that show you what the number is in English, what it is in Hindi, and then when you click on it, it plays the sound for you. You can kind of listen to how it's supposed to sound. Oh, I have the sound off, and it plays kind of how the sound is supposed to sound, and it can train you on the sound, and then you can practice the way the sound works as well. So yeah, I mean, just tell me about your experience, like being able to build something like this now in this current world.
Yeah, it been a great experience. Actually, it is a problem that when you go to a speech therapist, the time is always limited, right? So you only get a certain number of sessions. But the reality is improvement needs a lots of practice, way more than those session allow. So with this platform, the idea is simple. People can practice anything they want and as much as they want. So and going in future, I'm planning to add more languages and also improve the AI to it will give better scores and all. It will help patients.
Yeah.
Sheeper, have you had your mom use it, or have you seen other folks use your tool, and how does that make you feel?
Yeah, my mom is love it. Actually, she gave me some suggestions also. I implement it. Like it will I add Hindi also because our native language is Hindi. So that's
I'll
why
be right back,
I
stream.
added Hindi. Yeah.
And how are you thinking of getting more users? Because I can see a couple routes here, right? Like direct to consumer, direct to user, but then also working with some speech therapists or some medical centers and partnering with them and providing your service to them. So how are you thinking about rolling this out?
Yeah, I am sharing the platform with few doctors and patients and collecting their feedbacks. I really want to understand what actually work from them and what doesn't. So currently, my focus is to improve the experience based on real user needs. Yeah.
Very neat. And have you thought about monetization or payments or anything like that yet?
Yeah, currently I am not think about it, but might be in future.
All right. Well, we have a new. And you're based out of India, right?
Yeah.
Very neat. We have a new integration with Razor Pay. You might just rolled out last month, so it makes payments and monetization on your Replit apps pretty easy. So make sure you check that out when you get to that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely, sure.
All right, so we got a couple minutes left here. What has been your biggest takeaway from this whole experience? What's been your favorite part? Your biggest learning? Like what have you kind of what would you share with other people who are building and trying to like do what you just done?
Just I want to say ki just think creative and start building. That's Replit give us a great platform where non-coder also can bring their ideas alive. I created two more products as I am in a SEO, so I created for SEO. So this is a great experience.
Tell me a little
I'm
bit too.
loving that.
Tell me a little bit about too. I mean, you're. I think initially, obviously, the product caught my attention, but your videos also like. Were you nervous getting on camera? Are you comfortable on camera? Like, help other folks who are out there, like, think through your thought process for getting this out there, and just kind of the initial experience of building, and probably pushing your comfort zone a little bit, right?
Yeah, actually, this is my first live session, and I am a very camera shy person, and currently I am literally shivering. So I just want to come out of my comfort zone, and literally thanks you guys that you give us so great platform. So just I want to thank that.
I love it. I mean, you got a great idea here, and you're gonna have to push yourself and be better or different in certain ways, like being on camera. But you have such a great cause, such a great app here that I think that's motivational for a lot of folks, right? That have these ideas that they want to bring to market and share with other folks, and it's just an opportunity for them to grow as well in different ways.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I share it with my mom's doctor also, and he loves this platform. And he said he definitely share the with other patients also, so it will help in their recovery. And yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, no, absolutely spectacular. Well done. Great job kind of putting it together and getting it in front of us. Um, yeah, uh, super cool to see. I think you got some new fans.
I'm unmuted. I'm just listening, watching Replit as well. Welcome, Aldi. I see a few new people in the chat. Be sure to sub up, join the Discord. We'll be back to our regular programming in a few.
So that is the two of the top five that we're going to, top six that we're going to share today. From here, we're going to go to Victor, which is built a yard sale exploring app, Yard Mania, I think is what it's called.
Victor, what's up?
Hello. We kind of stumbled into this project kind of by fluke last week while we were doing our like stumble
It saved
upon.
us, dude.
Yeah.
Like, you let me know if you've got any questions in the chat. I'll always answer.
I think
we'll be streaming after. We've got tons of work to do, chat. New work.
April 7th. So you kind of got all of your submissions in like right towards the end there. So just tell me a little bit about your experience in the Buildathon. Tell me, where did this idea come from? Because you kind of came in out of nowhere, and here you are. So talk to us a little bit about your experience in the Buildathon.
Yeah, totally. For me, it was a whirlwind as well this last 10 days since the idea came about. I'm an event designer and event architect in Switzerland. So I create experiences, emotions for living, basically. And when I stumbled over Replit, I started using it to design some event useful apps for myself, really to get rid of Excel to start with. And then had lists and have client portals that they can see what they need to deliver when and all that stuff. And then, yeah, 10 days ago, I met my good friend Walter from Phoenix, Arizona. There we go. And he said, I talked to him about apps, and you should do some apps, and we should do some apps and all that stuff. And he's like, well, I have an app. I have an idea. And then 2 days later, we were online on Replit. And yeah, totally excited.
Yeah. And I think what really caught my attention, first of all, when I loaded this, I was just so excited to see some images in the background because most everyone has just been doing these very sterile wireframe style text only sites that the agent spits out. So I could tell, like, do you have product experience? I like what's your background? It does seem like you thought this through a little bit. And what really then caught my attention was this treasure hunts where it's like, oh, I see what's happening here. I can go and explore a bunch of different like yard sales or garage sales in one pop. Like that was really cool. So again, I could tell there was a little bit of thought and product knowledge that went into this. Can you talk a little bit about your background or how you thought about that?
Well, my background is really event design and event architecture. So I design experiences for people in the event setting. I do a festival in Switzerland. And then when this came about with the apps and stuff, I have the visual. You mentioned this last week in live stream as well on like having it nicely aligned and look at the design. Some of the blocks are shifted around, and you tell Replit do this and do that, and then one idea leads to the other. And in the treasure hunt, of course, I realized that you need to be able to check it off. That you've been there. So I put that feature in there if you go back to the treasure hunt. on the bottom, if you go down a little bit, you can check them off. But you can only check them off if you're close in the vicinity. You can't check them off once you're sitting at home and just check them all off and then get the Starbucks voucher, right? And the Starbucks or the sponsoring thing will be next step. I think it's the next feature that we're going to put some sponsors in there.
Right here. Yeah, that's cool.
Could get a coffee sponsored by that person. That link would be on where the coffee shop is and all that stuff. And because I'm very logistical in the admin section, I put in a lot of statistics. So if you'd actually go into the login section.
Yeah, I wanted to point that out actually, because I go to the login, and this again is one of those things that is so helpful for us as testers, as people to be able to come in and check. You've got some demo users, some host, and then the admin portal back here. So do you want me to go in as admin?
Yeah, if you don't mind, yeah. I mean, I have all the the listings. I realized that the listings can't go online right away. So I have up above, if you go a little bit up, I have the pending listings. So I actually have to approve them. Just a little bit on the, yeah, there. I have to approve them. I actually put in Victor's porn sale and it actually spits it out. It wouldn't let it be posted. And then, yeah, the next favorite is the campaign studio, a little bit to the right.
Oh yeah.
And it takes a little while. You don't need to do it right now on the live stream, but I have there should be on the post generator. There should be some examples.
Oh, I see. So this is like
they're actually not there. But if you press generate and let it run for like a minute, then it will actually design some Facebook ads or whatever you need. So there's some next to the front use. I think it's always important to also treat ourselves with some good admin.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think this is, again, it was so well thought out. Tell me a little bit about your timing coming into this. When did you hear about the Buildathon? When did you decided like, hey, I'm going to put this together? Like, how did that kind of come together last minute here from a timeline perspective? I know you introduced the story a little bit just earlier, but
yeah. Well, I saw it
seems
weeks
like you
ago.
had to cram some stuff. I saw a post. Maybe you're at an airport too, or something. Maybe I'm mixing that up, but it seems like you were just trying to cram some of this in. So I don't know. I'll let
right. Yeah. So yeah, I've seen the Buildathon 3 weeks ago, but since I've just built apps for myself, I'm like, well, I don't really know what to show. I don't really know if anybody's interested in a app that talks about event health and safety, security measures, and online documents and all that stuff, which I'm also designing right now. But when this idea with my friend Walter came in a week ago, I'm like, well, that's something that people might actually associate with and they can relate to, and we've got some great feedbacks in those 10 days. And now we're here and we keep building, we keep testing it. We registered an LLC and we are definitely going to go live with this, no matter what.
Amazing. Victor, was there like a point during the build that where it really clicked? Was there like something that got rendered or produced by agent where you're like, oh wow, this is really going to work?
Well, really the first draw, actually. I put in, I talked to my friend Claude a little bit on this idea, and then we designed a prompt for Replit and we sent it into prompt, and literally the layout, the basic layout is still the same. The colors are the same, the Yardmania logo is the same, a lot of the stuff is the same. I added features, I added a little bit of aligning, I said this needs to be clickable, this doesn't need to be clickable, and in the map section I moved from the general Replit map to Google Maps with an API. I moved into the buttons that you can see, that you can click and all that stuff. But in general, the first draft was like, yep, that's a good one.
One shot, we call it one shotted. And oh man, is that a great feeling when that preview comes through and you're like, yes, exactly. And it's becoming more and more frequent, but man, it's always a great feeling to see that initial build exactly what you're envisioning.
Yeah, and this is great. I mean, this little color picker, create a little social post. I can update the text in real time here. Very nice. Just honestly, overall, well done. I would be very much interested to see where this goes for you over time. And if you guys, like, I would love to just kind of keep up with this, because I could see this being exciting, not just in the opening market, but then I could see you quickly unlocking other markets for this type of thing. And I could see this getting a lot of excitement. So yeah, this would be fun to track over the next 6 months as you guys go out. So for sure, help us keep in touch with you. And
still learning Discord.
Yeah.
Still trying to figure it out. I'm a little lost.
That's for all of us.
All right. Yeah. No. Super great. Any final thoughts that you want to share? Any cool questions or anything that we should address before we let Victor go here?
Well, no, just I really thank you. I mean, Replit, I've tried some other products as well. I'm not going to mention names right now, but Replit is really the thing. And I've got at least 3 people involved in Replit to do their own apps. While I was writing apps for them, I realized that sometimes it just needs to be your idea. I can't impose an idea on you and a system. So I told the guy, hey, this is Replit. Sign up, create your own app. And so they're vibe coding, and they're like, yeah, they're so far away from any IT jobs as possibly can come. And I think shout out to my friend Walter. I think he's next. He needs to start vibe coding himself.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Make sure you're using your referral link. Okay, everybody. Like if you have a referral
Oh,
link in
good
your
point.
settings, send that around. Share that. When somebody signs up, you get $10 on your account. $10
There
credits
we
to
go.
do that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Manny. Thank you,
All right,
Raymar.
Victor, it's been great to meet you.
I lost Raymar again.
Excited about your project. Thank you for saving our exploration stream last week with like a really good demo to just show folks.
Woo!
That was great to see.
You saved the whole show, Victor.
Yeah, best of luck to you as
Thank
you
you.
venture off into the next
Thank you, Manny.
phase of this. And everyone, yeah, did we get the Yard Mania posted in the chat by chance?
Sorry, I
Yes, we
can't
did.
hear.
Yeah, we
Great.
posted
And
the
is that-
project and the URL.
And then the pinned, is that at the top? The pinned, the
I
winners
can't
page is just
hear
pinned at the top?
Raymar anymore if he
Yes.
says something.
Yes.
All right, let's just make sure we got that winners link pinned in the top, and you can go check out the winners from this week and the last few weeks, all on the Buildathon website. So Victor, thank you so much for hanging with us. We are going to go to this shot now. Hello, friends. Okay, next up is going to be Sharon. I see Sharon has her screen off in the background. Oh, she does not. She's ready for us. Okay, so let's go to Sharon here. Hi, Sharon.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. And Sharon has Board Forge, and this week you're winning. I think it's the most improved because I remember the first week chatting with you and trying to get a grasp for what you're
Welcome to the stream, everybody. I'm just watching the Replit, watching the winner interviews. And then we're going to get into work, regular programming. It's only Tuesday, so you know what that means.
I've been doing lots of stuff around boards, so this caught my attention very early.
If you're new in the chat, say something. Let me know what country you're from. Sub up. Be sure to like and subscribe. That always helps.
Just tell me a little bit about your background, where this idea came from, and just the process of improving over time here.
Sure, happy to. So I've also been on boards for most of my career. Like from a young age, I was always volunteering. One of my core values is like scaled impact, where if I spend 1 hour of time, I want that to have a multiplier effect, like having more value out of any unit. So I've always been part of boards, and I'm now the 4th time I've been a board chair at different nonprofits, and it's still the same struggle. Like when you're a nonprofit, if especially a small nonprofit, you don't have the operating dollars to get some of the tools that are out there today, and you need to activate your board. It's not just your quarterly meeting or your monthly meeting or however your board is structured. You want your board to be talking to each other in a centralized way where the information doesn't become siloed, it doesn't become lost as your board transitions. And I've also been in tech my entire career. Never been a person until this new age of vibe coding.
Software developer, when you say tech, like a software developer, what's your role
No,
in tech?
no. So I've been tech adjacent my entire career. So I started out in the mid '90s when I went to college. I was a computer science major. Then they had things like differential equations and polar geometry, and they lost me at that. I was like, that's not what I'm trying to do. Now they have like an MIS degree, which would have been more appropriate for what I needed, but that didn't exist back then. I've always seen the power that technology can do to implement and change the world. And so I've always wanted to be part of that. So I love technology. I'm a system thinker. I understand the logic path. Like I can talk to somebody about like why you want to normalize a database, or why do you need to have a QA engineer understand what your app is. But the semicolons got the best of me. Like I C++, semicolons, it was the death. Like I was like, nope. I switched an economics degree and went the business route, but always inside of tech because I've always just been so empowered about like what is the art of the possible? What can we possibly do? So
The
I've
art
built
of the
board
possible. I love
forge.
that.
Yeah, the art of the possible. Like there, it's endless. And honestly, like some of the people who talked earlier here, why Replit for me, one of the things that was really key for me is like I could go code somewhere and endless different AI platforms, but I can't just click publish and make it live, right? Like that is a really powerful thing if you're not somebody who's in the weeds in technology to be able to like, hey, I can take this idea, I can chat with technology, I can create something, but then how do I actually get it live? And here I can just click publish or and now republish and it goes off and it's live. I can connect a custom domain. I haven't done that piece yet for this project. And that's really powerful because I'm not a person who's going to like I have my source code saved to Git, but like I'm not a person who's going to take that from Git and go source this somewhere else.
Yeah.
And being able to do that is it's just been like empowering. Like that's the word that I have. I've been in technology when you jumped on this page like helping people understand like connecting the non-technical to the technical and like why something is valuable. And I think that's also a really important piece to help like especially in the area I'm talking about with nonprofits. Like a lot of these individuals like they want to make impact, they want to make a difference. It's why they decided to join a board, but they're not
Yeah.
technical.
Yep.
And information is siloed. They're very busy individuals. And if we can help centralize that and keep that together, then it'll just help amplify the impact that they have. My most recent update was actually introducing an agent inside of BoardForge. It actually happened right after week 3 closed. And I call her Jordan, and she's your chief of staff for your board. Every board's going to have a Jordan. And you can go and you can chat with Jordan and be like, "Hey, like, what do I? If I have only one thing I can do right now, what is the one thing I should do?" And when you think about very busy people who are on boards, you want to help centralize like where you want their attention. And so I'm working on iterating with Replit on like how I help Jordan surface up what is the most relevant information, like and also making sure that it's hardened. Like that if you're on this board, you're not seeing something that's influenced from another board. And so when you think about the democratizing of technology, which Replit has done a great job with, there's also some underlying like foundations that people, if you haven't been in tech, they just don't know what they don't know. And you don't know how important multi-tenancy and like not having information flow from one side to the other, like
Yeah.
how important that is. And so I spent a lot of time like creating a whole program around like what is the security protocols, what is the hardening, how do I have QA this with Playwright, end-to-end testing, because I'm just me, right? I don't have a team of people behind this. I want to launch this to the world. It's part of my pledge 1% for my LLC, which essentially means it is free for any nonprofit who wants to use it. If you can contribute, please do, and thank you. Otherwise, I will keep funding the Replit build costs. My time is completely free for this because my currency that I care about is impact. Like I want to help make the world a better place, and I think this tool will help, especially the smaller nonprofits, which
Are
are
you using this internally yourself or what? How are
I
you?
am very close to getting the nonprofit I'm on a board for to
Okay.
use this.
I would be interested in comparing notes with you on some of what we do with our board and how we manage our community right now. Because I've also been building for the last year a system in Replit to manage, maybe a little longer than the last year, our local community, but mostly on the member management side, not on the board side. So yeah, it
No,
would be
I'd love
interesting to
to
share
connect.
notes on some of that stuff. So
Yeah, I've only been using Replit. I started in the beginning of February is when I've looking at different technologies, and so I'm still fairly new to it. And I'm sure you can give me a bunch of tips
yeah,
on how to better optimize.
great.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Sharon, just great to hear the enthusiasm in your voice. I think Replit is like you're exactly the person that we're building for, a person that has this deep expertise, a deep passion for a specialized field, and also somewhat tech adjacent or curious at least, so that you can kind of navigate with agent and bring your idea to life. So just love hearing how much passion you're bringing to this project.
Thank you, Manny. I really do. And this is not my only project. I have other projects that I'm going to. My LLC is a puzzle book company on Amazon, and I'm creating a puzzle generator to create new Sudoku types, which is very math heavy and bringing me back to my differential equations days back in college. But the platform has just been an absolute gem to work with. I've loved every minute of it.
Well, and again, so we're out of time here with Sharon, but I want to make one final thought about just all of the guests that we have today. That none of them are. I mean, you say you come from a tech adjacent, but you're all just regular people. You're not software developers, and here you are now. I think, Manny, you said it. Like, this is what Replit is about. It's like folks like you are close to the ground. You're close to the problems you're trying to solve. You understand that the solutions that are in the market right now are not an exact fit because you've been dealing with them and using them over time. And now you're going to solve your own problem. And I really think this is one of those things where it might take you a year of testing with the platform and working with a few boards and getting your things figured out and like refining all the functionality of it. But you have a real product that, again, you're saying you're close to getting it on with your board. And then next thing you know, it's the next board, and then 2 boards, and then 8 boards, and then, off to the races. Who knows from there? So
Yeah, I've
again,
gotten a lot of early interest, so it's been exciting to see.
yeah, no, I know we struggle with this. I've sat on tons of boards, and these are real problems. And like you said, trying to get somebody into a Notion thing, and then Google Drives is over here, and then the email system, and then you have
And then
the
somebody
auth and
leaves in their Google Drive. You can't access it anymore.
correct. Yes, I am the gatekeeper right now for a lot of our stuff. Right, like I'm kind of in that position. Like if Rymar just like dropped off the face, like a lot of our stuff. So I'm working on like building those systems into the back end so that, like, again, if Rymar leaves, the next admin with the keys can just take right over, and the continuity is the big deal with the board, right?
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Well, thank you so much.
Amazing.
And
So
everybody
much.
who's watching, like, keep building, like, have fun with it. I call them my AI minions. I think about like minions, like little yellow people running around, doing my work, but it is so powerful and you could do so much.
Yep. Right on. Thank you. Sorry. I clicked the button a little too early. Thank you. Thank you, Sharon.
Sharon.
Yeah, we appreciate
it.
Yeah. Okay, did not mean to just slice her off there mid-word, mid-quote. All right, so yeah, this has been whoa. This has been super cool, and again, just the diversity of candidates here. This is not who you'd think you'd be expecting to win hacker competitions and buildathon competitions with, solving technological problems. So just very, very exciting. And the next guest I'm super excited to bring in because, again, the scramble that happened last night and the participation and activity that I saw in Discord. A couple things. First of all, shout out to, I think it was Tasha who kind of came in the last minute and helped. Let me just bring Kelly in here because it's been such an experience watching you. I think since the first time I saw you pop into Discord, and you were outside somewhere, you had this like bright smile on your face and you were just like patiently waiting to be seen. And I'm so glad you waited because I had not really noticed your project in the feed. And it was in that moment that I kind of saw what you were building, this Spell Speak project that you're working on. And it's just been really cool to watch your progress since then till now. So tell me a little bit about where this idea came from, how you decided, because I saw you said you spent something like $800 on up to this point. So like you're invested here. Like,
yeah, when that first, like, my build went up to 55 builds, I was like, I must be an idiot.
now you're investing in your potential here.
Making a bet.
Yeah, so yeah, it's kind of crazy how I came upon it. I think I saw an ad on X is originally how I first discovered Replit. That's how I say it. And yeah, I had zero background like in any type of like media in any, like I had like some background as a content creator on Instagram for my Bernadoodle business, but like it wasn't really that much. And so it was definitely super new for me. And I'm learning very much as I go. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, where did this idea come from? What motivated you to do this? I see a beautiful new intro here that I had not seen before. So just talk to me about, you now have a mobile app, I think, that you launched in a test flight as of last night. So just tell me about everything, like just
yeah. Okay, so I've been homeschooling my kids for 12 years now, and one of the most annoying things about homeschool sites is along the borders there'll be ads or commercials, and I have really severe ADHD, and so does my son. And so like those ads, I would be like within seconds like shopping on Temu, and I would just be like, I needed a solution like for that like distraction. And so like I knew I needed something that would be clear, like this is the mission, do the mission right in front of me, and for him also, of course. And so I made it for him, and then we had this like huge breakthrough moment with our homeschooling. About a year ago, I had taken me you know, a really long time. He's in the sixth grade, and it had taken me a really long time to teach him how to read, and even all the way up until sixth grade. And so he just was struggling so much. And we had this moment where he literally just like melted into the table and was like, "Mom, you don't understand. The letters are all over the place." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, this kid has dyslexia. Like, what in the world? Like, I do." So like for me to, I don't know why, like it just didn't connect for some reason in my head. And so when it finally did, and I was like, "Oh my word, we're stripping everything back. We're gonna go back to zero. Let's figure this out." And so the spelling for dyslexic people is super duper difficult. The letters are always all jumbled up. And so having those boxes where those letters come up in little boxes is part of the thing that is literally changing the game for my son when it comes to spelling. He has gotten so much better. And so yeah, that was definitely the mission.
Yeah, I think that was part of what caught my attention when I initially saw it. First of all, you know, it's playing the little. Let me see. Can people hear that? Let me see.
I don't think it's gonna come up.
No, the audio's not playing.
Okay, so great. So I can hear it, but
Yeah.
and then I might. Oh, so when you spell it right, boom, it's nice.
Yeah.
Next target. So it
That's
kind
fun.
of tells you the word. You can hear the word. It tells you the definition a little bit, and then you type it in, and you know it either confirms or it declines it. It tells you then how to say the word. So again, there's something about you know, you're solving your own need, even if this doesn't go super mainstream. I know yesterday you were talking about like, I'm hoping to like make some money off of this on Apple, and I hope you do. I hope this like has massive success. But even if it doesn't, this is going to solve a problem for you that I think is super interesting. And maybe if it doesn't have immediate success and you keep refining it, who knows over, again, 6 months where you might take this thing. And so it's just, again, this non-traditional path, this non-traditional entry into tech, this ability for folks to kind of come in and build things that, you know, solve problems in their real world. What do you think about that as all this AI stuff? Because, you know, like, I wonder how people think about that. Like, you know, you've probably heard people complaining about AI or different things, especially if you're homeschooling, about the impact on students. But here you are using it to like build an educational tool and kind of enhance learning. So like, what are your thoughts as you think about some of these conflicts?
It's super ironic because my teenagers are adamantly against AI. And so it's so funny to hear them talk about, oh, mom's building an app, but it's not really mom, it's AI, you know? So, you know, and I'm having to explain to them, like, well, there's still a human being, like, behind that typewriter, you know, keyboard. And yeah, so that has been really interesting to, like, for them to go, well, it's AI, but I've been on it for like almost 50 hours.
Yeah.
So like, you know,
and you're using this now, right? This is like something that you guys use regularly, huh?
yeah. And, you know, I was raised 20 years without a TV. You know, I didn't have any media at all. Like my first year of marriage, we got our first TV and it was literally like 6 inches big, you know? So, like, you know, I'm going from like 0 to like almost something on the App Store, which man, you guys don't even know. I mean, I know I sent a video yesterday, like, but like, I mean, I was right before that, I was full on in tears because the team, everybody came together on Discord, and I am telling you,
Let's remind people at what time. This was like 2 or 3 in the morning Eastern, right? Like this is
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like it was
What's exciting
amazing
for
though.
me, so as exciting as it was for you, because I felt bad that I couldn't jump in because I was like doing a bunch of other stuff, and I felt bad that I couldn't jump in. And then shout out to Tasha, I think, right, from Redact
Yeah.
IQ,
Yeah.
or Redact in browser. So shout out for her for jumping in. And what I got excited about is that it was my Discord monitoring bot that told me about what was going on with your post. And so I got excited that like my listening is getting better about what's going on in the community, and our tools are getting better at trying to like figure out kind of what's happening around the edges of this thing. So I know you all don't realize that, but we've talked about how we scrape the chat comments for this. Now we're starting to kind of figure out how to like listen in Discord and really make sure that these types of things get addressed, whether it's one of us or for somebody from the community. So again, it's very special to see what's happening with folks helping each other, the community forming around this stuff. I've seen things like this happen again. In another year or two, this community will not be as accessible as it is now. I'm just going to tell you right now that if you are out there and trying to get plugged in, now is the time to play and really make those one-on-one connections that will pay exponential dividends over the next 6 months, year, 2 years as this industry evolves. So just as somebody who's built community for a long time and seen this cycle go through a few times, you are in a very opportunistic moment right now. Manny talks all the time about vibe coding being like the premier skill to learn. But I also think getting into community, finding your little tribe, and having opportunities like we've had over this Buildathon to really connect with other builders and build your own little micro networks. It just, I cannot tell you, and I cannot quantify the value of that, but I can tell you qualitatively, it's unreal. And my career has been exponentially multiplied by those types of experiences. So yeah, Kelly, you're right on the right path. And everybody out there who's doing this, like, I'm so excited for where this is going to head for all of you.
So great.
Any
And
thoughts?
yeah, I mean, I think Replit is just a must-have tool for any parent. As a parent myself, when my kid has a problem with a specific topic, like we had an issue where like my boy couldn't sum numbers over 10, for example, like 7 plus 11 and 7 plus 8. And so I just built a custom app specifically for that, just iterate on it and just like bang that out. And to your point, Kelly, there is other things out there, but like all those like simple web apps, like they have so much junk in them. And sometimes it's just better to build it yourself in Replit. You have your own experience. You don't have any ads or any like funny stuff, like anybody tracking you or anything like that. And you get to customize it exactly for that individual. So you customize it for your boy. I can see the styling. It's got the mission thing. It feels kind of cool. It feels kind of spyish. Like, oh my gosh, like you can like code that for everybody. And so I think that's the really cool thing about AI is that everybody is going to get their own custom educational protocol or the way that they want to get taught to. Like right now, we teach everybody the same thing in a class. Like that shouldn't be the case. Everybody should have their own tailored, customized educational plan. And I think tools like Replit are just making that possible for parents. And you're a great example of that.
Perfect example.
Thank you. Yeah, I know. I actually see this as the future of schooling. I think that the schooling that we've done is going by the side, and having that custom. How does my kid learn, and how can I create a curriculum specifically for this kid? What he's into? How can we expand on that? That is like one of my most excited things about what Replit can do. You can build websites, apps. Like it's just amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, again, we are entering an unprecedented era of creative freedom and exploration. And the problem solving, I talk about this a lot. Up until this point, problem solving for tech issues has come from the folks in Silicon Valley, which is great because there's this density of like really smart people getting together to build these digital products. However, the products that they build are often centered and siloed around their use cases in the world, which don't always reflect the use cases that are necessary in like these other emerging markets or these smaller markets. And up until this point, it has never made sense to invest in these smaller projects because the cost to build technology at scale is expensive. And so you need millions of users in order to make the technology viable. And so there's no real venture capital, there's no real business incentives to spend the money it would have taken to build an app like this for 10 users, 100 users, whatever it is. We are finally entering an era where that is possible and where it makes sense for this software to become like viable at a very small scale. Software can become profitable with 10, 15, 100, 1,000 users now. And that changes the whole economy, the fundamental economy around this value proposition here in technology. And I think we have not really understood what that actually means. People talk a lot about like this fear of job loss. I think we are about to see a renaissance of small businesses, of creator economy, the Etsification, if you will, of like, people kind of building and selling things is going to step into a digital world. And we are just going to see a Cambrian explosion, an industrial revolution type explosion of innovation over the next handful of years. So if you're out there and you're thinking about, oh my God, the AI is going to replace me, well then yes, maybe you are going to get replaced. But if you're out there thinking about, this is the best and most amazing opportunity I've ever had as a creative thinker, then yes, that is also probably true. So your mindset is everything going into this moment. Kelly, you represent that so well. It's just been thrilling to watch your path. And good luck. I'm excited to continue following and connecting with you as you grow and build.
Thank you.
Amazing. Okay. All right. We have one more week 3 winner. And this one is going to be also super fun. Manny, thoughts, questions from the comments, anything that we should pull up here before
Hunter in the chat. Hunter's coming on.
Waiting. But yeah, and anything we should discuss or thoughts on these first handful of interviews here.
I think for me the big standout is just the community coming together like at 2 a.m. to help somebody out. I think you're right, Remar. Like, man, there's like such an excitement right now. People are getting to do stuff that they weren't able to do before, work on ideas, help, their family members, bring these ideas to life. Charges you.
Thanks,
up,
man.
man.
That
Like, you'll
means
be
a
up-
lot,
be up at 3
Aldi.
a.m., 2
I
a.m.,
know
4 a.m.
you're
working
new
on the
here.
project. It's so
I haven't
exciting
seen
to
you here
build.
before, so
And with the
welcome.
community
Thanks
and
for the
and
kind
the
words.
Discord, so you can share that enthusiasm and that energy with other folks. So for me, that's just like been one of the highlights. It's just like being able to see that and see other people help each other. Like that's just amazing. I love to see that.
This is great. If your uncle or aunt, it's your duty to build a B2B SaaS with your niece or nephew.
Yes, that's it. I was just gonna ask Kelly, like, when is Replit gonna be added to the curriculum? Because I think, like not only for parents but also for kids, Replit is a great tool. The same thing that it makes it easy for like anybody to build, also makes it super easy for kids to get started as well. You have Mark Andreessen, he has his kid on Replit like all the time. Like, just build stuff, whatever you want. Here's unlimited credits, just build what you want. And so, like, yeah, must have for the kids as well.
This is a great perspective here. AI is a collaborator for creative people, but a replacement for people who feel like corporate tools. And it's also, for the folks who are sitting on the sidelines and taking that Luddite position where they're like, I'm a creator and this, like whatever, I don't know. I disagree with that. So,
Yeah,
okay.
and like any
Go ahead.
like any technology, it's a double-edged sword, right? Like social media, it could be like it could lead you to brain rot where you're just there stuck, whatever. But also social media is a great way to get the word out on something that you're building. Great way to connect with other folks. That's like how me and Rymar connected. That's how you're connecting with other folks. So I think technology itself, it's neutral. It's how you use it responsibly and how you get the most out of it. And AI, I think, is no different. AI can potentially like lead you like down to AI slop, get stuck on your phone, whatever. But it can also help you build that idea that you've been sitting on for 10 years and bring it to life and share with other folks.
Yeah, yeah. 100%. And don't get too stressed out about, again, especially because it's early in this community, don't get stressed out about like, oh, my views aren't getting a lot of traction or whatever. What you need to be focused on is like, how do I go and find other people who are sharing and engage meaningfully with them in the comments in a way that's not about like some kind of transaction? It's just about like, hey, you've done something cool. What's up? What's up? And next thing you know, you're connecting. I can't tell you over the last handful of years. I think I got really active on X. It was Twitter at the time in like 2017, 2018. And the amount of connections that I made over those first few years in the no code space, again, I talked about how this arc is very similar to what happened back then, and where those relationships have taken me now. Again, you can't quantify this stuff. And so you want to build meaningful connections. Don't just do this transactionally. Look at my post, please. Look at the thing I created. Like, that's not going to work. Find real meaningful ways to connect and just watch how these relationships just kind of roll out for you and just amplify your efforts here. So, all right, without further ado, let's
had to give a little setup flex, right, Phoenix?
Here. What's up, Hunter, in the background?
Hello,
Waiting patiently. Yes, hello. And let me go to this a little bit. We'll open that up. So we'll just get started. Hunter, again, you were hanging out in the Discord and you were like, dude, check this out. Please check this out. Please check this out. And I was just like, hey, relax. We're going to get to like whatever we get to because this is how we have a system that it works. And finally we got to yours. And I was immediately kind of like not really understanding what it was. But then when we got into it, I was like, oh, this is cool. And then I kind of like went a little nerdy thinking about it.
Right.
So tell me a little bit about what brought this idea to mind, what your process has been with the Buildathon. Just kind of give us a little intro of your experience up to this point.
So it actually started out with an idea from my business partner, fiance. She works with AI adoption. She saw the gap that people don't really want to ask AI how to use AI. They want to talk to an actual person. So then, pretty much in a day, I got on Replit and started this app High in 5, to where you can talk to somebody. The whole thing behind it is it takes about 5 minutes, and it's just a quick conversation. So the landing page is still kind of temporary, but inside the app, it's built pretty awesome now. I started communities because everyone had great ideas around who could possibly use this. Actually, do me a favor, Ramar. If you join that community, would you do that?
Just did.
Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make you an expert to do on calls and office hours. So if you refresh probably, and then you can actually go live in this community, and then like hit on call right there. Let's see here. So you should be popping up here now. All right. So since I'm in your community, you can answer that.
Oh, let's see if we break our audio here, huh? Nice. I'm gonna mute this. Let's keep the audio in the restream so that folks can hear us. Hunter, your audio has dropped, by the way, because your camera has been taken over here. So yeah. Ooh, check. Did we lose Hunter? Okay, this is great. So nice little feedback. Again, this is what kind of caught my eye when I first saw this. Let me return home. Hunter, if you get a chance to refresh your camera on the scene, we'll bring you back in here. But this was what caught my attention, was like this initial idea of like, okay, real-time feedback. I click this button. I want to brainstorm with somebody. I want a quick decision. So I just started thinking about this quite a bit. I reached out to Hunter afterwards, and this gave me an idea for a segment that I think we will likely do moving forward, where we take one of your projects. I took it and tried to remix it or put my own spin on it. And so I did a little shuffle, a little play, a little whatever, to help think through some ideas. And then I sent that back to Hunter, and he made some progress from that. And I think that would be fun to do as like a kitchen revamp type.
Hello?
Yo, he's back.
He's back.
So I think that would be fun to do, Manny. What do you think?
Oh,
Like take
man,
somebody's community project, almost like one of those like kitchen revamp projects where, like what's his face? Gordon Ramsay comes in and is just like, you got this system and that system, and I don't know. What do you think about that idea?
I love it. Yeah, no, it's a great way to add some spontaneity to our critiques and our sessions. No, I was really impressed by this as well. It's so like it's when you see it, you're like, oh yeah, that's obvious. Like it's great just to meet people at random and have a chat with them in a nice kind of like established environment. And so like I think it's pretty somewhat straightforward to do, but it's how you put together different pieces and making it happen. And then bringing people on there. I think this project has a lot of legs, a lot of fun. Ruth mentioned in the chat that it's a little bit hard to demo. But once
What's
you
up,
if you
Sam?
go to the site and you try it out
What
for yourself,
profile
you'll
picture,
see,
Aldi?
like, how cool this is.
Yeah, and that was what I saw when I took a look at it. And I think what Hunter, I still think you're not there, by the way.
I think am I on my phone now? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you. Can you hear us?
Yep, I'm back.
Yeah, we can hear you.
I do a little switch.
Nice. That's okay. We got you loud and clear. So,
Cool.
yeah, Ruth. What Ruth is saying is exactly right. I still think it's not immediately obvious how to use the tool or kind of how to like get this thing into people's hands or what.
Right.
So that's what I would think about. Is like my initial thought, and like the optimizations I made on the other side. We're thinking about like what's that onboarding experience like? What's that like initial marketplace look like? So I would still encourage you to think through some of that stuff a little bit.
Yeah.
But the bones of what you have.
Why? The one in YouTube is good. What's not good with it?
Interesting thing that showcases real use cases of the software. The video itself, for those who don't know, is using WebRTC, direct peer-to-peer. So it's not like storing your video in some kind of central server. Your data is like literally just creating a direct connection between somebody else's device, which is a cool technology. So when I saw that, when I saw the real-time connection, the video, the audio, again, I'm like, oh, this is a really interesting use case. It's not your traditional productivity app. It's not, again, like some second brain concept that's convoluted and doesn't have any kind of chance. Like, this is something that I could see actually being useful for people. So yeah, Hunter, what are you going to do with this? Like, what's your next step? Like, what are you thinking about?
So one, we need to get it ready to be in the App Store, like you said. Also, we want it to be easy onboarding, but we have connections with like the local universities. I think that if you start like just building one community at a time, and then just seeing how it works from there. But I'm trying to take this to the moon, really. I mean, I feel like there's so many people that could use it. I've heard people, somebody suggested having maybe like teenagers help out older people do their digital devices on their phone. Just ideas just flowing.
I think it's you, Aldi. Put sunglasses on.
Where like you have to meet like a lot of people at random. So like putting everybody in one of these rooms is having like meet each other at random 5 minutes, and then you chat with somebody, like chat, and then you move on and you just keep going. Like I think that would be cool too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that was my initial thought, was like, what's the Omegle for freelancers look like?
Right.
Where you don't have to worry about like, somebody flashing you or getting some random like, weird experience where it's like kind of vetted folks that, yeah, you could just kind of jump into chats with, solve creative problems.
Yeah. So like everyone jokes about the Omegle and the chat roulette thing. So I made sure that I have a report and a blocker on there now. So
have to do.
So I've made sure that that was in there, because I mean, obviously that could be a real problem. So I want to make sure that it's safe on there. Hopefully we get more professional people and everyone like respects everyone on there. But I think the opportunities are endless.
Yeah.
What's the monetization play here, Hunter? Like, are you charging like per usage or like seed, or what are you thinking?
See,
if
as of right now, everything's free. I kind of brainstorming on what I need to do with that, but that's up in the air.
Okay, cool.
There you go, dating style app, like speed dating.
That's what I was thinking, like speed dating, like
Right.
speed networking or something. Like, oh, you have 500 people in this event. Like, oh, like quickly introduce everybody and like add some like logic to it so you meet different people.
Yeah, I could, again, even like what I started thinking about was like during the Buildathon, like having breakouts during office hours where people can just go and jump in. Hey, go get paired up with somebody, spend 5 minutes. Okay, reshuffle. Everyone jumps in, gets 5 minutes, reshuffle. Like really cool things that I think, we could, again. So there's a couple projects that I've been eyeballing throughout this thing that would be very interesting to pull into some kind of like cohort, right? And be like, how can we mentor these projects? How can we make sure that in 6 months, these are real deal projects that we can show to the world and be like, money's flowing, cash is coming in, like real users. This is going to be my mission. I'm going to I'm going to plant a flag right now. In I don't know how many months, we are going to have something, maybe like a Replit community product studio or something like that, where we will start taking these things, these projects, and working along with you, and not necessarily like building the IP with you or whatever, but creating an atmosphere where like you're running with people. I think a lot of what we've been focused on with Replit marketing and some of the stuff that's happening right now is like on that initial output. We want to grab market share. We want to tell people, hey, look, it's very fantastic. You can like put a prompt in and get a product. But what we're now evolving into, and what we've seen through this Buildathon, is that like these things take work to get to production ready states. They take time to get to market. As you start getting users, you need to think about how do you maintain these applications? How do you add features? How do you grow and kind of do more things with it? And I think that's part of a little missing link in this Replit community world that I would love to solve. And I see it sprouting. This Buildathon gave me so many ideas for how you all are coming together. Again, seeing some of the communities that formed inside of this, ideas like yours, Hunter, passion like Kelly's, like some of the Tasha, the Bloom, from last week. I'm sorry, I'm blanking on your name. I think it's Tommy.
Beta Bloom.
Beta Bloom. Yeah. So I just, I don't know, Manny. What do you think as I talk about some of
Are
that?
you
Like,
proposing a Replit fellowship?
I am
Is that
trying
what
to
you're doing?
manifest this thing into the world, y'all. I'm trying to put it into the world, and you guys, please, like, tell
Hey,
me.
I'd love to join the fellowship. Bring me along.
The
Yeah.
Replit Fellowship. Yeah, I think that's such a great idea. I remember like follow these projects and like give them
Just
more
inner circle
support.
builders who have proven that they've got, like, again, you've got a cool idea, you've got an MVP, you've got some unique insights into the market, non-traditional path into tech. How can we start forming around some of that? And so, like, what I think again would be really cool, and what we've started to do is we show you how we're building some of our deep technical stuff. You've seen us kind of lead in with some of these deep dives, and then you all follow suit. And as we've done with this Buildathon, we start elevating the best of the best as we go. And in a year from now, we have this like cohort of products that's not just our like community products, but products built by the community. And this becomes a portfolio that the world can look at that will become immutable, irrefutable, as like no other platform can do this. One of the things that happened during this Buildathon is that we built this platform in real time as we were going. And to me, that's so exciting that we were able to like execute on that type of thing and have this many people kind of interacting with that. So, yeah, there's a case study brewing here that I don't know how to like tell until it happens. But yeah, this is kind of exciting. Hunter, thoughts?
What do you think, Hunter? You're in?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely in because I have zero background with any of the web design or anything like that. So Replit has given me an opportunity to actually put an idea and actually see it come to life. It's been cool. It's been fun. The whole thing in general, the Discord communities all supporting, and I mean, just everything in between has been a fun experience.
I think it's just been fun to showcase some of our builders. Like I think we're pretty like media savvy here at Replit, and so we get to bring these folks on stage. It's like, hey, here's how we would do this. Let's like promote you on our channels. Let's like we'll like post about you. Reimer would do that. I'll do that. And it's just a great way also to launch a product as well and get eyeballs on a product and get your initial 100 users. I think we can easily do that. Like our Replit community can at least guarantee you 100 initial users. So like working with us, you'll get the hands-on encouragement and help, but you also get a chance to jettison that initial start, that cold start, which is so hard for a lot of folks.
Yeah. Yeah, I again, this is not just an idea I'm making up on the spot, by the way. I'm revealing a little bit of my game plan. But yeah, this is you're going to hear us talk a lot more about how we can maintain this Buildathon has showed us so much potential. Hunter, I'm going to let you go. Any final thoughts as we get into this as we let you go here?
I guess vote for me.
Vote for Hunter.
Yes.
Right, and
that's it.
I'm excited to see this play out. But thank you both. Shout out to everyone that supported me. Tommy on YouTube, he supported me from almost day one. But yeah, it's been fun. So I appreciate you both.
100%. Thank you,
Amazing work,
Hunter.
Hunter.
Job well done. Kudos. And
Shout out to you, Hunter.
Thanks. We'll catch you later. To all the builders, honestly, just super impressive what everyone has built. I was about to go on my little soapbox for a second. This Buildathon has shown me a new potential for what community can be inside of an operation. And I have been building community for a long time, and I have had kind of moments of like, what if and imagine if and these kind of things. And those ideas are really great, but it's kind of hard to test those things at a small scale. And one of the things that I've gotten to experiment at Replit is like dealing with a community at a scale that I've never really managed or handled. Like it's just unreal. Like it's literally like plugging your finger into an electrical socket every time you open a door to a new part of this community. It's like what the, and I think we saw that on the Buildathon hub with the little live indicators and seeing how many people were active and seeing the activity on the activity feed. We shared a little bit about those stats at the beginning of the stream, and it started getting me thinking like. And I think I've talked about this on some of the streams. So if I'm rambling or if I'm repeating myself anyway, but if you think about what the primary objective of Facebook, Google, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, et cetera, has been over the last handful of years, it has been to harness your attention for advertising dollars or for whatever purpose, right? Keep you on the feed. This is why they disincentivize link sharing. This is why, again, they do everything they can to keep you engaged, scrolling, doing whatever. And what I saw over this Buildathon was people spending time on our owned web real estate, focusing their attention on things that were not doom scrolling. It was on creative energy. It was on building things. It was about working with others and starting to think about, could we reverse some of these trends, some of these doom scrolling trends, some of these shitty social incentives that we've built, and could we reharness creative energy, the output and the community stuff that we're building? And I don't think this is some like big ideological change the face of the internet type thing. What I think it's like, can we find a new channel?
What's up, Imperium? Yeah, we finished already.
In a very creative way inside of this community to start incentivizing more creation, more builders, more opportunities for you all to find revenue on the back of these activities. Because at the end of the day, our job is to help you grow your skill set, but also to see you elevate your career.
Crazy, pretty crazy where it's came from start till now.
All of the time here. You know, like Manny and I, like we really wanted revenue to be a big part of this Buildathon early on. And we just couldn't figure out the like logistics of tracking that and the complexities of that. And that's what led to some of the ideas of Replicash. And so I say this all as a long story to just say like, things are about to get real interesting with all of this. I don't just mean here in Replit in our
We ain't
community.
seen nothing yet.
Yeah, and just across the board. So Manny, as I say that, as I talk about this stuff, I know you've heard me kind of like be on this soapbox before. What do you think? Like what do you see in here? You've watched this Buildathon very closely as well. You've seen kind of all this energy. You know, like what do you think about all this?
You know, so like I keep coming. This is a new space. Vibe coding is brand new. You know, we have seen some of it, like some in similar trends in the past. Like you mentioned, low code platform things like that. But I think this is like 10x anything we've ever seen. And if you listen to some of the
100x.
technologists out there, they're saying like, yeah, this people that have like Mark Andreessen, I listen to him all the time. Like he built the first web browser. He was there at the founding of the internet and all the other trends like cloud computing. And he's like, this is like 10x, 20x, 30x, anything we've ever seen. And so it's going to be big. It's going to be massive. And I think it's also going to be different. It's going to be similar in certain ways, but it's also going to be different. But I think, you know, for me, the core mission for us is how do we provide professional grade development tools to a bunch of new builders. As you saw, all of our winners here, very few of them have technical experience or are developers or have that background, and they're all eager to build. And the great thing about Replit is that we're making that available to more and more people. This is why people are going to a whole bunch of different platforms and choosing Replit. And for me, Reimer, to your point, like, you know, like we want to provide folks with this experience. How do we do that? How do we prove that out? Well, we prove that out by helping them earn their first dollar and get their first users. This is why we spend so much time on just like going beyond just building. Like that was like the first couple of weeks, right? Like you get the idea, you build it. Okay, now you have to
Yeah,
go
for
and you
sure,
have to,
Phoenix.
like,
Maybe
get
second
attention.
stream,
You have
maybe
to
one
get
long
users.
stream.
You
I'll
have to think
see.
about how you're going to go to market. I'm asking about pricing. How are you going to monetize that? And these are all questions that we all have to think about as builders. And we want to be here to help you and support you in that, providing you with the content to do that and help you get to that first like 100 users and get to that ability to earn revenue on your applications and or build an application that is wonderful to use for yourself or for other folks. And so for me, it's just been great to see you come on board, Rymar. Like I think you're like a great example, like someone that just started vibe coding, started talking about Replit. Now you're here, and Replit's so happy to have you on board. And you're so creative. Like you just get in there and you start like, oh, this would be fun. Let's try this. Let's go check this out. And so like you on the team, coupled with this community, like what we're building here, like I just like I don't know where it's gonna go. I have a sense, but I know it's just gonna be big. It's gonna be epic.
Yes, and I saw a couple of things here. Ruth was saying, Ruth has been around, by the way, for those who don't know, we used to do these little hangouts long before I was working at Replit and again, other different things. And so, yeah, this is one of those things where like I've had ideas about community for a long time, about community at scale. I've been building community for 15 years, right? This has been my passion because I learned to build and this has been my path, right? Like I was where you all are 12, 15 years ago, learning WordPress, learning how to be a freelancer selling websites. And I started going door to door selling text marketing. And for 6 months, I literally went door to door, 30, 40, 50 doors a day, trying to sell text marketing. And I, for 6 months, sold nothing. And what I learned over those 6 months is that people wanted like this integrated marketing. They didn't want standalone text marketing. They wanted marketing built into their email marketing and with their CRM, and they wanted integrated. And so that's where I started learning about web development and marketing and digital marketing. And that path over the last 12 years has changed my career trajectory. And there's been ups and downs during that path. But what really kicked it off was I started hosting community meetups around the WordPress space, and I started connecting with other builders And at first it was a very small community, but next thing you know, we're planning conferences and we're planning meetups, and I'm collaborating with other meetup organizers, and it just changed my entire career trajectory. And so I cannot tell you how, again, going back to the opportunity that exists in the beginning of this moment, 2 years from now, this door will be closed. But right now, maybe 6 months from now, this door could be closed with how fast everything's moving. But right now, there is this opportunity in this community to like establish yourself, make the real communities. I want to address this right here because it's perfectly in line. I'd love to see a community of female builders. So go build it. You know, like, why are you waiting on us for that? You know, like that's not a thing that's not our responsibility to build. And also, if you look at the winners of this showcase today, like we had a split, and that's not a thing. Like we don't know the sex of the people who are building a lot of these things. We're not considering that. We're just looking at the projects, and the Buildathon like winners have been very diverse from all different parts of the country, you know, female, male, whatever. So like, this is not a thing we look at, you know, on the surface. If you want to work with females, go find them, right? Go create the thing. And then maybe we look at you as like, oh, look, the Replit female community is building here and we can shine light on that, right? So you don't have to wait for us to start making moves here. You know, like I'm just telling you, this is for the folks who have a little bit of agency and just get going. We can't say that enough. This is your moment. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I said, yeah, if there's something that you want to see in the world, go and build it. I mean, we might even give you some templates and use our tools to go and build that out for yourself. And we'd love to showcase it and see what you're doing. But no, yeah, I think it's a big opportunity. I think for us also, Reimer, like, you know, I feel like AI is like a major transformational shift. It's like a technology like that is going to change everything. And me, you, Replit, everybody in this community has an opportunity to help shape that. How is this going to go? Are we going to be the folks that are going to embrace this technology and use it for good, to build out new applications, to help out boards, to help out kids with dyslexia, or to help people connect and build? Or are we going to be folks that are just going to use AI to do slop and do like just general kind of stuff? And I think all of us have that opportunity and that responsibility to have AI do something good and interesting in the world, and also help others as well make the transition. This is going to be a major transition. All the CEOs of the top model builders are saying that. Dario, Altman, they're saying like this is going to transform society. And I think by you being a part of it early right now, you're putting yourself in a position to help others down the line as well make the transition, because we're all going to have to transition at some point. So you're going to have the opportunity to help facilitate that and help shape that in the right direction.
Yeah. Yeah. No, well said. 100%. I think Go Mama Life says, I'll start the Boomer Gang. That's right. We need a gang for everybody. The Boomer Gang started this revolution. That's funny. And then somebody says, how could you build Replit? You don't want to do that. You got no chance. No offense. You missed that boat. What you need to do is try to fill the gaps where Replit doesn't exist. There is an all-out race right now, and you don't have enough money in the tank to compete with the companies like Anthropic or Replit or the other vibe code platforms. I don't know who you are, but I know that about you. And I would just focus my attention other places. We are no longer in the moment where you're going to build the platform of platforms. You're going to build the niches. We've talked about the next innovation is going to be connecting dots that exist right now, right? Connecting these silos, connecting big data sets, finding unique inventions that you can create by like pulling these integrations together. So don't think about how can I build Replit? You don't want to do that. It's too like it's
for sure a combination of both.
Think about how do I be Replit 10 years ago and be building the thing right now that in 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 8 years is the new thing, right? That's where your mind needs to be. If you're thinking about how can I recreate what exists now, you've already lost. You have to be thinking ahead of the market. And with how fast things are moving right now, like I don't know how far ahead of the market you have to be thinking, but
related here, Michael on LinkedIn, we are in the Vibe SaaS revolution era right now. That's exactly it. I mean, Reimer, we talked about this earlier. Like, we're coming, like, so, like, the cost of generating code is going down to zero, and we were in a world where that was very much more expensive. And so you had these cookie cutter massive SaaS platforms for everybody. So everybody got the same CRM, everybody got the same application, no matter what, because it was expensive to write that code. Now anybody can write that code. You can write that code. You can customize it. So that's going to break out into a whole bunch of different niche type of fields. Think about the CRM for the plumber, the CRM for the carpenter, the CRM for the housekeeper. They're all different in their particular flavor. And there's probably thousands of those individuals that would happily pay you $10 a a month to make their life easier. So yeah, I think that's entirely right, Michael. Like I feel like all of these big, massive, monolithic SaaS applications that are out there, you're gonna like find a bunch of opportunity to break that up into individual niches, go to market really fast, move fast, know your users like inside and out, like nobody else. Bring your expertise and just like be able to like wedge yourself in there for like a good amount of recurrent revenue.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, you don't have to worry about, like, if I'm you and I'm sitting in this audience, I'm not thinking about building the next Replit or Facebook or whatever. I'm thinking about, how do I retire myself in 6 months or a year or 3 years? How do I get to the point where I'm making $3,000 a month, $5,000 a month, $10,000 a month, $20,000 a month, $50,000 a month? Like, how do I get to the point where I'm literally just unfireable? And then the game changes for you. I see people talking about underrepresented groups and, elevating everyone. Again, not our responsibility. The product will do that, right? Like the product will absolutely do that. But this product is going to reward high agency folks. So if you're sitting on the sideline waiting for someone to build you an on-ramp, you're going to wait for a long time. If you go looking for these stairs to climb, you might have to climb a step that's a little higher than you're comfortable with. But there are on-ramps all around for this. When I started, I had $0 to my name. I don't know how to express this to you. $0 to my name. And there have been a handful of times over the last 12 years where I have had $0 in my bank account. And I don't come from a family of wealth. I don't come from like family, like nobody helped hand me up, right? Like the opportunity I had was I had internet and I just was not going to refuse to lose. And so I get it. I know not everyone starts from the same place. I don't mean to sound cruel and like say that there aren't disadvantaged people out there that could use a hand up. As often as we can, we will do that. What I'm aiming to say is that this is your moment to where none of that matters. Where if you have an internet connection and a little bit of agency, you can find ways to break out of whatever position you are in your life. And if you're one of those people, even more reason for you to make meaningful connections, because we will find and go and bend over backwards to help the folks who really connect with us. I have 100 DMs in Discord, but there's another 100 people that I've connected one-on-one and I've talked with, and we're having some level of like, hey, let me help, do whatever. And so again, you just need to break through. I know it's very difficult and it can be very frustrating when you're starting out. Breaking through does not mean connecting with me and Manny. Breaking through means finding somebody at your level that you can start building with and collaborating with, and then you get to the next level, and then the next level, and then the next level. And then eventually on that path, maybe you run into the different folks that are going to help give you these big boosts along the way. I don't know, Manny, any thoughts?
Yeah, and we keep talking about businesses and SaaS, but I also think that this equally applies for you if you're at a full-time job or if you're within any organization. Like vibe coding is going pro in 2026. You're going to see a lot more vibe coding across every organization. I just put together a clip from an interview by Databricks, a guy over at Databricks, Ali Godesh, I think. He's just saying how, like, 30% of his technical folks, they use particular tools. The other 70% that are not technical, that are in sales, that are in marketing, that are in HR, they're using Replit to vibe code custom tools and share with everybody else. So if you want to start your own SaaS application, that's great. But also if you just want to level up at work, like I can't think of a better skill to have than vibe coding. Think about like you show up and like you talk to your boss, like, yeah, like I can build these custom tools, I can prototype this application, I can set up this new website. Oh, you want to set up like a new custom workflow for our marketing events? Check out like lead magnets. Like, yeah, I could do all that. Like hired on the spot. Or like even before that, like we've had a couple of folks that have vibe code instead of sending a resume, they vibe code a new website, a prototype for that particular company, and boom, right to the CEO, hired immediately. Immediately. Talk about like standing out in the crowd. So I just think in general, like vibe coding is like the must-have tool. It's like going to be so applicable if you want to start a business at work, or as we saw earlier, at home. Custom like apps for your kids. Like I'm doing that. Like it's just like such a universal, amazing tool.
Yeah. And don't get lost in the hype, y'all. Listen, this is going to take way longer than whatever all these hype people say about like, it's gonna be super intelligence. Listen, if you work with the agent, you know there's nothing super about that intelligence. It is an amazing product, but sometimes you're like, am I talking to a 3-year-old? And so have a long way to go, but this is the worst these products will ever be. And again, I think the opportunity is not in again, dreaming big or getting caught in the hype or thinking about like, how can I monitor the situation? And you build this crazy convoluted thing that like is just this big, like pick one thing. I do this thing every week and I hate doing it. How can I automate that? Boom. Now you got an idea, like this repetitive task that I'm doing all the time. How can I not have to deal with that? Right? Boom. Now you got an idea. Chase that thread, invest in that, right? Find these little nuggets, these little things around the edges rather than trying to tackle these major problems that require lots of money. They require lots of complexity. They require you to have access to a big audience. You have to get really good at identifying problems that you can solve personally and things that you can accomplish with the resources you have. And again, some of us have different resources to start with. And so that could just be a very little thing that you start doing for yourself, and then it could expand. So that's what I would say is like a really, like that's a skill you need to hone is like, what is the thing that I'm going to spend money on, especially as it starts to get more expensive. You can see Anthropic is reducing some of their subsidies. Replit can get expensive if you go crazy on this thing. And so like you have to start thinking about where am I going to invest these dollars? So you have to start getting smarter about what ideas am I going to invest in? How do I pick these? And how do I make sure that as I invest, I get a good return on my dollars?
100%. Yeah, I also think like back to like the week one winners, right, Mara? Like their method of like going out and finding pain points and then building out the application. Like I still think about that. So like there's something else that we're trying to share with you as well. Perspective from different types of builders. And the observation that I'm having is that we're all becoming builders now with Replit. We're all vibe builders or vibe coders, but we're coming at it from different angles. If you're a product engineer or product manager, you're coming up and you're like thinking about the idea and you're laying it out, then you're doing your first prototype, then you're kind of trying to test things. But then if you're a content guy or a marketing person, you're going out and you're sharing the pain point, you're talking about what you want to solve. And then if you get enough people in the comments saying, yeah, this is a real pain point, I'd love to be able to solve it, then you vibe code it in a day and you ship it out and you got your real users within like a day. Like, so, those are the different types of perspectives that we're all trying to bring you here as well. Just different angles in terms of how to think about the go-to-market side of things as well.
Yeah, I think this is interesting here. Razzie Wolfie saying, I have chosen the wrong project for the Buildathon. I think a lot of you did. To be honest, I think almost all of you did. And which is very common because you're all new builders and you're trying to recreate a big product or a big idea that you've had. The people who got it right and the people who, like Manny has just pointed out, like won over the course of the weeks and who will probably take home the main prize at the end here, are very specifically solving personalized problems, very close to themselves, have some kind of domain expertise. And again, we gave you all these unlocks to begin the show. Like, if you go back and watch the beginning of the Buildathon and the lead up to all this, we gave you the unlock for all of these things that we were looking for. But again, they're very personal. They shared a great story. Like each one of these Buildathon participants would make a great story for a feature piece. I don't know what the resources that we're going to be able to dedicate from a marketing standpoint, but we're going to be like making a case as much as we can to like say, hey, how do we get you all featured with some kind of, at least some social post or some kind of highlight somewhere. So they're all great stories. And that's what I think sells, right? The most entertaining story, the most entertaining outcome is the most likely. So you need to figure out how to be the most entertaining outcome, right? How do you be the story that people connect with? And that's what's going to unlock all of this for you all. And plus, design matters. Put some images in your projects, please. For the love of God, put some images in your projects.
Yeah, and I think we're all learning. I think that what people have appreciated the critique shows that we've done and we want to do more of. It's just kind of going through them and figuring out like what's working, what's not working, tendencies that people have. And I think we should do a good job of wrapping that up and summarizing that and sharing that with everyone. But hey, like it's just 3 weeks. You're just getting started. Like, great. You didn't maybe like have the great build. Keep building, keep iterating. You should be having your own personal buildathon every week. Now you know like the different mechanisms. Like you have to take several at bats. And this is another kind of framing that I think is helpful for me is that we're living in a world of outsized returns. And in the world of outsized returns, you only need to win 1% of the time because that 1% win is going to pay off for everything else, especially with Replit. Like if you can spend $100 on a prototype and you just keep shipping that and then like one of them pays off and that's the one that's going to give you recurring revenue for 5-7 years, then it's worth it. And so just keep at it, keep building, keep going to market, keep trying to figure things out, and just keep at it until you get that payoff.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know where that came from, by the way. The orange block favicon, I have no idea where that's coming from. And there was a lot of things for me to focus my attention on, and that was not one of them. I actually appreciated it because it showed me what the Buildathon tabs were over the top. So it's not something I intended. It might be like the CSV that it's using is too zoomed in, or I don't know. I have no idea what it's coming from, but my bad. There was other things to focus on for that. So yeah, we'll forgive that one, I think. Yeah, I think I don't know. I'm so excited. I also know that, like, first of all, I was talking to a friend last night, and I feel like I'm a heroin addict who's been given a poppy field to manage. You know, like to be real honest here. I listen. I was spending $1,000+ a month on average when I broke into doing contracting with Replit and got the credits. Kind of no longer became a thought process for me, which I worry about sometimes because it does steal a little bit of my empathy with you all, and I do try to like use core and use the other functionality, and I do try to like make sure I am cognizant of the cost so that I can understand how these things are playing out, even though I'm no longer carrying that weight myself. But I understand the cost is all I'm saying of what this can be. And I understand the value so much that before anybody was paying me or considering to do this stuff, I was burning down my
What's
savings
up, pioneers?
personally to play and tinker and figure out, because $1,000 here, $500 there, $100 there, whatever you have to spend to invest in yourself is an exponential return down the road in your skill set, in your opportunities, in your ability to reach the market. All of these things are like things that you can't quantify. So maybe instead of that Starbucks coffee, or maybe instead of that Tesla share, figure out how you're going to invest in yourself. Those returns always pay off majorly. If I had the choice right now whether to invest in a 401k or invest in myself learning these new skills, 100% of the time I'm investing in my new skills. Unless I have enough skills that are already paying the bills so that I can stack the 401k, then that changes, right? And so I really think we are in the moment where, again, you don't need to go viral with a project. You don't even need your project to pay off. Your project might lead you to somebody realizing what you can do for them, and then they might hire you, right? So like, you don't even need to think about this as like, I'm going to monetize my product all the way. The monetization may come from becoming a consultant or becoming an educator or becoming some other way to generate revenue from this industry that is evolving right now, where just you being here with these 160 people who are watching right now are on the front edge of everything. Right. And so that is kind
I
of
don't know, Aldi. We work every day. Today's just a little Replit stream. I want to see the end.
Plug into those gaps. We're going to continue to outline these,
and then I might be offline for a bit and then working again.
and share as much of our journeys as we can. But it's going to be up to you all to really act on that and take that to the bank.
Everything you said, Rymar, absolutely. And the only thing I would add is that you also have to ship. So you just can't be in Replit building prototypes and figuring out, adding like a new feature. Like as soon as possible, you have to get it out in the world. Go check out our interview with Ruth. And that's the number one thing she said. You just got to get it out in the world. That's one thing that set her apart, that she sees other people not doing, is they just get stuck and they don't share what they're building. They're too afraid or shy to share it. And she sees that, like, especially like younger generations, is that they're very like conscientious about this. And Ruth was just getting it out there. She's like, here, I'm done. Go check it out. Here, what do I need to do? How do I make this different? How do I make this better? And she's just iterating off of that. And so that's what I would say. Like, yes, learn. Huge investment. Like for me, like I've got kids as well. Like I'm thinking, like, do they need to go to college, or should I just like spend that money on Replit credits? Like, should I just give like 30K in Replit credits for a year and call that like the freshman year of college? I think in some ways it could be more impactful and helpful. But I also don't want them to be stuck in learn mode where you're just like stuck there like reading a whole bunch of books and not doing or implementing and sharing what you're doing. So I'd say, like, yeah, definitely, like to Rymar's point, go learn, do, but also share, also like be out there, getting that product out there, launching it, trying to get those initial users, advertising it. Okay, that doesn't work. Great. That's a one at bat. Like move on and keep going and getting out there in the world.
Yes. Yes. We are no longer in the blogging phase. When I got started in the web world, the way you like got noticed was you started a blog, right? It's like in 2012 to 2014, like the way to get noticed online was to start a blog. It was the early WordPress days, and it was kind of the thing you did. I see this moment right now where vibe coding is essentially a new blogging. And I said this a couple times, and what I mean by that is we're entering this phase where, just like you might have spent a weekend or a handful of hours working on a blog post to share it with your friends, maybe 10 people see it, maybe 1,000 people see it, maybe it goes viral, you end up on the Huffington Post. I don't know what it works out, but people were just kind of churning through this stuff, and you saw lots of people entering that blogging space to try to reach distribution. Vibe coding is the new blogging. And what I mean by that is lots of folks who are vibe coding and building things, they're just, hey, I spent a day on this, I shipped it. I spent a weekend on this, I shipped it. Maybe people see it, maybe they interact with it, maybe they don't. Maybe it goes viral and gets me on, featured on X or on Product Hunt or wherever this thing ends up. And we're also seeing the moment of kind of viral software, ephemeral viral software, things that go nuts. We've seen things like OpenClaw. We've seen things like that Pretext in the last couple of weeks that have just gone nuts as software. And we've never really seen these curves where you get an explosion of GitHub stars. And so we are entering a phase where, and again, if you go back to the early blogging phase, a lot of those folks were kind of looked at as like, you're just bloggers, like nobody really cares about you. And now look at where a lot of those people turn into like the media that we call now independent media. And so the same way as folks are experimenting, as you all are building and tinkering and throwing these things out into the world, over the next 6 months, year, 2 years, et cetera, these products are going to evolve into real things. And some of those will turn into real products. And so again, I can't emphasize enough the opportunity that lays here, but you also have to remember that, like, if you think you're blogging to get attention, that was 12 years ago. That was 15 years ago. You missed that boat. Blogging is over. Blogging is done. It's dead, right? Like, everyone's building these AI blogs now, do whatever. Like, that's not how you're going to stand out. The new thing is building interactive experiences that people can access on the web, which is like a new type of blog, right? It's this beautiful interactive. I can log in, I get data, and then you build emails on that list, and then you launch the next one with the 10 emails you had, and then the next project you get 20 or 50 more emails. Now your next project you got 100 emails, and and then you start stacking those things. And like Manny said, you can't just learn how to build. You have to now become a marketer. You have to become a media creator. You have to become a promoter. You have to become like an advertiser. Like, you have to just be all of these things now. You cannot just be a builder. You cannot just do one thing and build it and expect that the world's just going to show up at your doorstep. That's not how it works anymore.
The social media point you made, it's kind of weird that these two things are intersecting, Ramar, because like on one hand you can build anything, and now you have social media, so you can go viral anything. I've seen a couple of instances where somebody just posts like a walkthrough of the app that they created, that they vibe coded, and then boom, like 1,000, it goes viral, and then boom, 1,000 users in 24 hours. So like, I think the reframing for me, Ramar, is like you're like 1 90-second video away from going viral now. So Replit to build, and then just get familiar with X and LinkedIn or YouTube or whatever your platform of choice. And like you can just take shots, like a whole bunch of shots, and one of them may pay off and go big. It's crazy that these two trends are intersecting at once. Like, it's just like double the opportunity.
Yeah, 100%. 1,000,000%. Let's I just want to answer this question here. They're asking, just got off a work call, how do we see the qualifiers? So let me wrap up final thoughts here on Buildathon stuff, and just explain kind of what the website is up to, and again, your recap for what's happening here. Let me actually go back to, was it this one? Yeah, this one. Okay, so last week was the final checkpoint. Tomorrow and today and tomorrow is final scoring for all the Buildathon sites. Thursday, we'll have a final deliberation, and Friday on the stream, we will showcase the final winners. What I want to do here is, let me escape this and go to the Buildathon site. And if you go to the gallery now and you refresh the gallery, you're going to see a couple things. Obviously, you all don't have some of these filters that we have, but you'll now see this top qualifier selection. There are 113 projects that we talked about before. If we go back to this week 3 launch and we talk about this slide here, there are 113 what we're calling the top qualifiers. This is where we're going to focus most of our attention over the next few days. However, if you are not in this 113 and you have a qualified project, which is quite a number of you, there's another 150-ish or so that are really close to being in that batch, you can still break out. The way to do that is to go and, again, distribution on socials, getting featured in the activity feed, finding ways to connect online. We still don't have a clear winner for a number of these categories, and none of the top spots are sealed in, right? So there's nothing that's like set in stone yet. So yes, we have these 100 people, 113 projects. If you come to the gallery, they're filtered by the top qualifiers. You can still search for whatever project you want. If you come in here, you can start organizing and sorting these, and you will see everything else that's in here. And you can still, oh, goodness, somebody just paid $7,200 for an ad. So again, this is going to get expensive to be competitive, which is why we've been encouraging you all to get your Replicash kind of in place. So yeah. Anyway, Manny, thoughts as we wrap this up, wrap up the Buildathon.
I mean, no, I think it's going to be tough. These last 100 qualifiers, or like these top applications that we have here, going through them and selling on one of them. But it's going to be fun. We're going to come back Friday later on this week and announce the overall winners, and yeah, just put like a cap on all this great work that we've been doing. So super pumped about that.
That's right. And Chris says it's also now to vote, time to vote, correct. And if you were using mobile on the Buildathon site, there was a little bug where the scorecard would just kind of be at the bottom of the activity feed, which was like infinite scrolling, always just kept bouncing it below. So thank you, Chris, for the shout out before the stream today. We published an update that allows you to score those more easily on mobile if you're logged into the site. So yes, this is the best thing you can do right now to support your project or other people's project is go to the Buildathon site, engage with those projects, take them and post them on social, tag each other on the builders profiles is your social profiles and links. Go start connecting with each other. We should see a flurry of activity over the next 24 hours. And if we don't, we have absolutely failed as part of this. You know, like honestly, if there's 258 people on this website, if there's not at least 150 posts between now and tomorrow, I don't know what you guys are doing. Tag us, tag Replit, put this stuff online, create a new video, you know, spam everyone you know to go get likes on this. Again, the least we have any idea for is like the most viral, because Ollie, you're not that good at social media. So yeah, there's like, it's not going to take that much to be the most viral project in the competition here. So like, again, stop with the low effort shit post. Look what I built. Put some heart into this. You've spent 3 weeks on this. Like, put some effort into this. You know, like, give us a reason to elevate you. Like, give us a reason to make sure that on Friday you're the one that's on the stream that we're previewing. So,
and I would also say go and support each other's posts on social as well. Just a like, a comment, that goes a long way. And what I like about what we're building here too, Reimer, is like we're supporting each other not only in the Discord, but also externally as well. You know, just share some good feedback. Oh, great, I love this, whatever. It doesn't have to be that complicated, but one comment goes a long way. And if you get enough of those, you can really get some traction with the algos. And what I like about what we're building here too, Reimer, is like we're supporting each other not only in the Discord, but also externally as well. You know,
all right, chat, that was it for the Replit stream.
One comment goes a long way. If you get enough of those,
I might have to log off for an hour. No, I think it's gonna become more cheap, Aldi. Voice too low. My voice or the stream? Well, I just turned off the stream actually. So I don't know if you hear my voice. It should be good, I think. Let me test. Test. Yeah, it should be good, chat. Let me know if it's good in the... Alright, that's good. Let me see. 31k. That's nice. Alright, chat, give me a minute. I'm gonna see what we got planned for today. I've still got a bunch of things to do. No, I turned off the stream, IQ. We done. But welcome to the stream. I haven't seen you here before. So welcome to the stream. We just finished our Replit Buildathon. And I'm gonna end this stream, chat, and call it the Replit stream, and I'll be back in an hour or two to get some work done. Peace, chat. Thanks for supporting. Whoever's new here, I'll see you later when I get back to work. And we're here daily. Alright, chat, keep vibe coding. See you in a few. Adam, thanks for stopping by. I know you're new here. Well, at least I've seen your name here today. I'm building multiple stuff, IQ. I'll be back later and either check the streams of the past days. I've been streaming 30 days, so I'm building a whole lot of things. Mainly client projects always first. money in is number one goal here on the channel. And then at the same time, we're doing the Buildathon, and we're working on Baked, and we're working on Big Dave, and a lot of things. That means we've got a lot of work planned for the next 9 months, chat. Don't worry. We'll be vibe coding every day. Alright, chat. I'll be right back. Keep vibe coding. See you in a few.